we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons. All right. Not that pesky Pathfinder either. So, okay. So let's do a Faxpiration, then we'll do a recap, and then we'll answer the Faxpiration and get into this thing. So, the question tonight is, what is currently motivating your character to stay with the party? Okay, that's a spicy one. I feel like asking an NPC would be most relevant to an NPC in the party, but I mean, mileage may vary. While you think about that,
some NPCs just make recurring appearances to the
fair.
party.
Yeah, I mean, you slept on the most powerful NPC you've ever met last week, but I mean, it is what it is. Guess there won't be any ghosts left in Valakai when you get back. So while you guys ruminate on that, does anybody want to give us a recap of what happened last week? I feel like a decent amount happened last week. There's a lot of moving forward. So for a DM inspiration, which now inspiration is not declared before the roll, but instead after you failed miserably and you look in shame upon your advantage roll with 2 1s and you think I could do better than that. Also, inspiration disappears on a long rest, so use it or lose it. So anybody want to earn a point of DM inspiration, roll a d20 in chat so we can get this thing going. If you weren't here last week, but you have a pretty good idea and you want to make it up and it fools all of us into thinking that's what happened, I accept the challenge. Go for it.
Has the pop-out button for, like, sheets changed?
Gosh, what a great question.
No, it's still with me. With like a little square with the word pop up next to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what? Yeah, it should be right there, right
Next to
after the
sheet.
name of the monster. Yeah,
Right
to
next-
the left
right next
of
to the-
sheet.
Yeah.
That's where it normally is. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me roll a d20 and see
Okay.
if anybody else.
So sometimes if something that is supposed to be there isn't there, it means that for you that particular mod didn't load.
In that case, I'll just leave and come back again.
Yeah. It's one of the downsides of having too many mods. All right, well, Anne, I think you crushed it. So go ahead and give us the recap.
All right.
I mean,
So,
with her, lore bodybuilding, of course she crushed it.
Fair. Loving that lore bodybuilding.
All right. So, previously on Curse of Strahd, Nightfall, we come back to us at Jenny Greenteeth's cabin. We had just made it back, finished doing the ritual, and the ritual seemed to be a success. The girl survived, went through the. I was able to, put the nails inside her head, so that was also pretty good. But she did survive, and is now not a werewolf, for what I was told. We then decided to just rest. I decided to start putting silver, melting down some things, and started putting silver on on one of my weapons. The rest decided to go and work on their injuries. I believe Jenny and Taylor, who we now know is some type of purple elf, they did their thing, and she helped around the house, I guess, some bit. I wasn't really paying attention. But during the rest, we did have a visitor. One of the visitors was a very pretty man. He kind of looked like a like a Twilight vampire, and came through. And he apparently was a customer of Jenny. They had a conversation happening inside the house, and for some reason Wayne wanted to be involved in that conversation, so he went to go talk to them. I think Wayne had a thing for this vampire. I can understand why. But he seemed to not work out, I guess, and he went on his way. From there, we had a conversation about where we wanted to go next, what do we want to do next. There was talk about the tarot reading that we got. a while back and what it means there, and what people we've met so far, and who do we think the tarot reading means. A lot of us have settled on the Watcher Woman being one of the thing of wisdom. How do we handle that? We're not sure. Right now, what's in front of us is that we wanted to go look for the cart, as its cart for some more equipment, and as well as get to Kresik to try and heal Jason. But on the way there, we could grind this cart and stop by the tower, since it's on the way. And so we, after finished resting up, we got our stuff together and headed out. One of the conversations was also about what we're going to do with the little girl. Seems like Wayne and Taylor wants to bring the girl with us. I feel like she should just get left over at Kresik, probably have a safer time there. But she is what it is, and we went towards the tower. On the way there, we did run into some crazy old lady that was talking to a frog, who happened to also talk. This place is very strange. She seems to be some type of ghost hunter. And so we told her about a bunch of ghosts in Valakai, which I didn't know there was. There were ghosts in Valakai, but maybe now with all the people that died during the raid. So she's going to go over there and hunt some ghosts. We let her on her way, but I think we now have the frog with us. And the frog is telling us about the tower because they used to go there. Used to live there. So if we then got to the tower, Taylor, when we got there, we saw that the lights were on and there was smoke coming out of the chimney. So somebody must be there. The frog did tell us that the door is supposed to be trapped with like some type of magic. Not sure what that means, but looking around the tower, we saw there was a hole up top and some scaffolding. So Taylor climbed through the hole, and then eventually opened the door from the inside. We got in and saw that there was a bunch of statues that seemed to control a lift. I was gonna get ready to pull the chains to lift up the lift, but then someone asked the statues to use the elevator, and they started moving. So we're getting ready to take this elevator up to the top.
All right, good recap. Okay. One thing I would add is also last week you guys began to understand and experience what it meant to have the blood of heroes, in so much as you now have a tremendous amount of self-healing resources, including your expanded hit dice, which are allowing you to kind of recover from wounds that, normal people could not, kind of entering that sort of John Wick action hero fantasy area of disbelief. Like, you can't believe you're surviving the attacks you're taking, the situations you're in, and you're kind of bouncing back from those so much faster. So, okay, cool. All right. Go ahead and take that inspiration. And then, is there anyone who... Oh, yes. And as Leo pointed out, Minodora from Delaware is now a torchbearer for Leo Johnson. I'm sure that will end
God help her soul.
with a full college scholarship, no doubt. So, does anybody want to answer the question, what is currently motivating your character to stay with the party? If you're interested, roll a d20 in the chat for that Factspiration die.
Leo coming in.
Goes to Leo.
Okay. Leo with another nat 20, 2 nat 20s in the very beginning of the session. That's fantastic. Auspicious for the game. What is motivating you to stay with the party? Maybe.
Well, I can't carry the barrel, so gotta stick with people who can carry the barrel, and I like giving Wayne shit.
Strong answer. You may ask the same question of any NPC you've met during your adventure.
What does this arena stick around with us?
Oh, Man, we have to go straight to the. We have to get cut before we
Okay.
can start.
So, Irenia stays with the party because never in her life has she ever felt like she belonged or like herself. She always felt other. She always felt out of place. When she met you guys, it felt right for the first time in her life. She felt like she had found people that she belonged with. And she also had a crush on Chris. So when she started traveling with you guys, seeing all the crazy shit, doing all this crazy stuff, there were a lot of times where she was scared and wanted to go back home. But she didn't. And then now she has nothing really to go back to with her father being dead, the town kind of being under Ludmilla's control, her brother being turned to stone. So now, after losing so much, and losing even more than that, she just kind of wants to see where it goes before the end. You know? Like, she wants to see whatever this is through to the end. So, I guess she's with you guys in a combination of camaraderie and morbid curiosity. Like, nihilistically morbid curiosity. How much worse could it possibly get?
That's a terrible question to ask.
This
Yeah,
is the end by the doors
just-
just constantly playing in her head. She's like,
Just stand by. Like,
Yeah, so we will see what happens. All right. I'll go ahead and add that Factspiration die to Leo. I believe I went through and I repaired all of the compendium stuff. So all of our compendium stuff should be working now. All right. Now with all that out of the way, we will ride this elevator to the top and see what awaits us. What are you doing, Trash Goblin? No, nothing? No? Okay. Sorry, I was a small creature in my room. Let's see.
Oh, and also I was informed by Victor that he doesn't feel his magic anymore.
Oh, inside this tower, correct. As soon as he stepped into the tower, he felt all of his magic abandon him. It was all stripped away. All right. So, I also think while we were doing the recap, I managed to fix the compendiums. We'll see though. All right. Well, Strahd, tower interior. Okay. We'll go to the scene. All right, so you ride this elevator as the four men made out of clay pull the chains. And
does it fit us all, including in?
Oof, that's a great question. For coolness' sake, it would be nice if it fit everybody, but I believe mechanically it does not. Now, combat-wise, it wouldn't, but I mean, crowded elevator, yeah, it would probably fit everybody.
Okay.
Let me see.
Crowd in there, I guess.
I feel like as long as you could tolerate being on a metal plate that is rickety and rising at an uneven pace, so it's constantly like changing like its tilt and its angles. No safety stuff, and there's Anne plus all of you guys on this elevator. It can definitely support you guys. Good question.
Mhm.
Mm.
It's not enclosed, right? It's just a platform.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and I think Anne's okay. If it was an enclosed box, no.
No safety railings? Oh,
No.
rails out.
Oh, really? You're gonna wait at the bottom?
Leo,
feel
I
like-
don't think OSHA exists in this timeline.
I mean,
Leo,
it makes
yeah.
sense for your fear of heights. Yeah, it's going up at least 60 feet. So
If it was a closed box,
if-
Anne would have been out.
If you're
Uh.
scared, Leo, I'll hold your hand.
And no. I'm holding Minodora's hand. She gets scared.
Well, you got two.
Minodora, rising to the challenge of being torchbearer, says,
We should stay down here in case anything comes in the front door, and then we'll be able to warn you guys.
Yeah. We'll watch the front door if anyone gets past
It
the
wouldn't
magical
make
lock thing.
sense for all of us to go up there in case something comes from behind us.
But then you'll be down here alone.
Well,
And-
we got the stone statue guys. I'll
Yeah.
just say like up Sesame or something.
Yeah. Well,
Pull it back down.
maybe Purple could stay with us.
Parple looks to Anne.
Or
Okay. All right. So, let's see. So this platform, yeah, it is a jerky movement and uneven tilt as it clanks and clambers slowly up and up and up. All right. And then finally, it will reach the 4th floor of the tower. All right. And let me fix some stuff real quick. Here it is. Okay. All right. So, unlike the levels below, this room shows signs of habitation. And although the place reeks of mold and mildew and wine, it has plenty of creature comforts, including a cozy bed, a desk with matching chair, bright tapestries, and a large iron stove with plenty of wood to feed it. Light enters through arrow slits as well as through dirt-caked windows with broken shutters. Other features of the room include a suit of dope-looking armor and a wooden chest. Old rafters bend under the weight of the tower roof, which has somehow remained intact. Mounted to the rafters are pulleys around which the massive iron chains supporting the elevator are. You see, sitting up in the bed, bleary-eyed and ready to roll into initiative, is a man. Is there a man? Hold on. Let's see. Yes. Yes, here's the man. No, wait. I gotta dig him out of this compendium I just fixed. Hold on a sec. And then we gotta do this. And we gotta do this. There we go. He's ready to go now. All right. This guy. He looks like an older man, maybe in his mid-50s, but a man who has been through it. scars and burns and stains model his face, his neck, and his chest. You can see that his eyes are both dark, shining, and cunning, despite the red rims and heavy bags that line them. He is obviously dealing with some alcoholism. There are kind of broken veins beneath the surface of the skin around his nose and on his cheeks. His hair is a frazzled mess with a dramatic widow's peak that is balding on either side of it. He, with one hand, is reaching for a pair of Harry Potter glasses, you know, the little round circular ones. With his other hand, he has it outstretched, making vague eldritch gestures in the air. He is shirtless and sort of half cocooned in his blankets. Apparently, he was sleeping. You can smell the stink of bad wine on him, and you can see around the bed all manner of empty wine and vodka and whiskey bottles kind of piled and discarded. He says, "Who are you? And how did you get in here? Answer quick, or we'll all die."
There's a hole.
Where's SWAT?
Wait, it's you. Ah, those cowards from Valakai.
Come again?
I can't imagine that you mean me any harm, though. You have a lot of explaining to do. Well, calm. Step away from the platform. Can't trust the golems to hold it steady half the time.
Walk off the platform.
How cramped is this room for Anne?
Ooh, let me see. I'll give you a top down of the room real quick. It's very cramped. Let's see. In fact, this
No
elevator
vision.
that you rode up is really only big enough for like one person. Like in combat, it's so cramped.
We can't see.
Yeah. If I put all your minis down, it would look like a bus car.
You can put the camera back if you want.
Yeah, here I'll put the whole fucking group. Here you go.
Oh, no, oh, no. If it's really cramped, I think Anne will go ride the elevator back down.
Oh yeah, it's really great for him.
Did we like stack up like cheerleaders? Ride that out.
It just SWAT all the way up. We just sat on each other's shoulders.
I imagined it being a 10 foot by 10 foot without checking the battle map. But yeah, apparently it was not a 10 foot by 10 foot. So I don't even know, Anne, if you would have been able to go up the elevator.
Yeah, she would have stayed down then.
All right.
Tight space is not a friend of Anne's.
Okay. So now that you have a sense of it.
Like maybe only 4 of us could have got up.
Yeah, that would be fair. Like 4 of you. All right. So let's see.
I guess I would have had to leave Dunbar behind.
Okay.
Well, you could have helped Dunbar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Robin, Wayne, and Taylor.
I'll take you back to the scene where everybody can see, and then we will assume then that Wayne and Taylor, and who else did you want to bring with you?
Robin and Victor.
Okay. And Victor? Okay.
Yeah, Mage
the
Tower.
The rest of you are downstairs. Got it. All right. Okay. So yeah, this guy would look at all of you and say, My first question is, how did you get here?
Well, there's a hole in the tower, so kinda went through and opened the door.
The scaffolding. I didn't think any would be foolish enough to try to use the scaffolding to get in, but makes sense. I thought that any of the werewolves would cause it to collapse. You must be... Wait. Oh, you're not wearing your mask, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. He takes you in and he says, a female dusk elf. Fascinating.
Hair
You were the
kinda, like,
one with the mask,
shudders.
then.
Uh, yes. So
Yeah.
you know who we are?
I heard about your antics, your riding out of town shortly before the Civil War.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's just nothing we could do.
Apparently. I noticed that Esmeralda is not with you anymore. I assume the worst, then.
Robin will nod.
His jaw clenches, and you see all the muscles in his face try to break into a grimace of sorrow, but he forces them back in line. And he says, she always was a fool. Yeah. My fault. She followed me here. I know it. Why couldn't she just stay away? Ah, everyone I care about taken from me. One way or another. Was she
Robin.
a help to you at least?
She did. It was after we stopped an abomination at Yesterhill. Is that the name that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, it was right before Yester Hill.
Yeah.
While we were climbing up.
I thought it was when we were climbing back down.
No,
Thought she died.
No, it was while we were climbing up.
she didn't
No.
survive the ascent.
That's right. Yeah, it was at Yesterhill as we were trying to stop an abomination. She died in that process. And Robin will take a step closer since it's a tiny room. So this is like a big step, I guess.
Yeah, can you give me a perception and an insight?
Sure.
Wayne, I would also like one from you. A perception and an insight.
Okay.
All right, Robin, you do not recognize this man, but there is something familiar about him. Wayne, same deal. You don't recognize him at all, but there is something. Like there's a vibe about this guy. Like you feel like you've met him before.
Yeah. Robin's going to, as she kind of steps closer, she's just going to say, I, too, have lost almost everyone other than my cousin who's downstairs. I've lost my father and my other cousin here in this last few weeks, ever since coming here. I feel like I understand the pain that you're speaking of losing everyone you care about.
He bares his teeth, and they have the stain of tobacco, and they definitely are not well maintained, but they're certainly not, falling out of his mouth pirate peasant level. But he bears those teeth in like a grimace, and he says, to hear someone so young
say those words, it breaks what's left of my heart. I am sorry that you and your friends and your family have become the playthings of an evil god. I have been unsuccessful in my attempts to destroy him. Perhaps if I had acted sooner, if I had not underestimated my opponent, I could have spared you. Spared her. But alas, I was a fool. Filled with hubris and suicidal whimsy, you might say. I came here from my homeland of Darkon to hunt the vampire Strahd destroy him.
Have we heard the name Darkon before? Is that a...
Darkon? Yes, that is where Rictavio said he was from. The bard.
Mhm.
It is a neighboring realm, and at one point was connected to Barovia, but no longer.
Crash,
Mhm.
is it possible just to, like, to socially insight that, you know, he's hungover, maybe still a bit drunk, and he seems to be kind of doom spiraling at the moment? Mentally?
He seems, in your assessment, to be a high functioning alcoholic who has a razor sharp mind. You don't think that he's in any danger of losing himself emotionally or cognitively at any point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you fought Strahd yet? Have you?
No. I have made some forays into his castle. I have assembled a great deal of knowledge undercover. I have learned of the politics of the remaining settlements here, the history of the Ember Temple, and of his power source. All of them.
His power source?
Yes.
Well, maybe we could share knowledge. We fought him like a week ago.
Truly. Yes. Allow me to get dressed. I am indecent.
And he heads over to this table, and you do see at the table that there's a scruffy fake beard on the table next to his other stuff. So he kind of throws like a button-down shirt on, and he turns around to face you guys, and he says,
There's more of you downstairs then?
Yeah, the elevator would only carry so many.
I see. Do they want to come up? I will not go down.
I
This
don't think.
tower has protections on it. Protections against, and as he goes to say that, Thought kind of crawls out of your backpack, Taylor, and says, there's protections against magics. Magics that weren't cast by my master. And you can see, question mark man, look at the frog and cock an eyebrow. And he says, you must be Xanther's familiar then. How else could you survive the threshold of this tower? Your master did incredible work here. At least, he looks around, the magical parts. And Thought says, he never really had time for the more mundane aspects of life. You know, it's more metaphysical, magic oriented
things that kept his interest
You seem to have made yourself pretty cozy.
here and there. And he says, yes, I hope your master would not mind. I discovered this tower, and to my delight, found that the inside was impervious to magic of any kind, including scrying magic. It is my belief that this is one of the only places in Barovia where Strahd's powers cannot reach. Likely your master created this as a getaway from his constant scrying and prying eyes. Thought lets out a ribbit and starts inspecting the bottles on the shelf over here.
If this place is impervious to magic, well, this is actually more of a Crash question than a him question. Is anything going on with Anne downstairs and all of her changes and multiple heads and whatnot?
Yeah, so right away, right, Rob, you kind of peer down,
Mhm.
and Anne's just down there at the bottom, like, probably not very comfortable because the bottom's not any bigger than the top of the tower. And would you even still be in the tower, or would you have just left after a while?
Yeah, if they're still taking time, she probably might be just sitting outside by the door.
Okay. All right. Well, thinking back, when Anne did come in through the threshold and everything, the second head did not vanish and her size did not diminish.
So it's not necessarily negating magic, it's just not letting it through necessarily.
It's not
Like,
magic
you can't.
anymore.
Well,
Yeah, it's not magical.
as all people who have suffered through 5th edition anti-magic can tell you, it's a complicated topic. But it's a very complicated topic. Essentially,
it's not an active spell anymore.
correct. That she was under the effects. This is all raw, meta. She was placed under the effects of a permanent, a transmutation spell that permanently changed her nature. It's for that reason that a skeleton can't just be killed by anti-magic, because the magic that made the skeleton already made the skeleton.
Yeah, the magic has already happened.
Yeah.
Her nature has already changed. The nature
Correct.
itself is not magical. It is.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. The magic changed her nature, and then she moved on from there. Essentially.
No, that was just what Robin kind of wanted to figure out, because like we knew she was turning kind of like giant, etc. But we weren't. She didn't know the meta of this, and so she kind of wanted to know that.
You do get the feeling that this might be the first person in Barovia who could fucking tell you everything that's going on. Like, that's the kind of gut feeling you have, that this man could probably fucking tell you everything that's going on.
Yeah, Robin is like basically ready to say that to him, but she's also trying to be respectful. So she's like just trying to wait for him to like get changed and
well,
stuff.
Then I will just discuss with you, if no more are willing to come up, and we will palaver and figure out
a way forward. But
I must tell you my first rule, a rule that Esmeralda failed to follow.
I must work alone. We can share knowledge, but I must travel alone, act alone, and work alone. I cannot risk your lives. Do you understand?
Robin's going to nod. She's going to say, I mean, at this point, we're already risking our lives every moment that we're here. Not here in this tower, but here
it's fine. I just needed to set some boundaries before we begin.
We came up here looking for knowledge and power, not an ally.
Well, you have found knowledge, and that knowledge will be power. But as far as things of use in this tower, there is not much. It is not so much that it was scavenged, so much as I have already used what is useful for myself. But, as compensation, I will share with you that knowledge. As allies against the same foe, of course.
You have a
I
name?
want... Yes. I would like to know. What do you want from Barovia?
I mean, I'd like it just to leave me the fuck alone, basically. I'd like to not be here.
Alright. You want an escape. Do the others feel the same way?
Let's just assume everybody wants to go home, for the sake of argument.
Would you be willing to go home right now and leave this world to its own devices? And leave those bound to this world to their own devices? If you could return to whatever elsewhere you're from. But this elf and this boy and the redhead girl were left here in darkness. Would you go? Right now.
What would happen to Anne? My cousin.
He goes over to the window and he peers down.
She's trained
Says,
to a giant.
She has given herself over to one of the dark powers. She could never leave Barovia.
Well, I can't leave without her. And I don't like the idea of leaving any of my other friends behind here.
If you wish to save your cousin, you will have to slay the incarnation of the dark power imprisoned in the Ember Temple that she has sworn her soul to.
We've heard about the Ember Temple before. It's
And has mentioned many times that she feels a calling there, and also I think
Victor really wants to go.
Victor really wants to go.
And Thalt really wants to go.
If I had to guess, I would say that she has sworn herself to Great Tarhak, the five-headed destroyer. A giant so evil, he became a god, but was quickly imprisoned. Motivated by fear, other gods sought to seal him away, lest he devour them. He is shaping her into his vessel, that he might once again walk the land in flesh. It is likely he seeks an escape from this prison, and Anne is his means of escape.
So, he's going to grow more heads?
Oh, undoubtedly, yes. And grow larger and crueler. Has she begun to feast on the flesh of men yet?
Not
Gonna
yet,
do
just
that?
some bats.
Ah. Well, you two particularly would likely be her targets once the craving for man flesh sets in. You both have very weak physical demeanors. This is from a guy who also has a very weak physical demeanor I want to throw out there. So
It didn't feel like an insult. It just felt like data.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I mean, to Robin, it did not feel like an insult.
He says, oh, right, your earlier question. My name is Dr. Rudolph van Richten. I am a monster hunter. I study the dark creatures that hunt in the night. It is my life's calling. My curse. And when he says that, he like turns and looks out the window again, and then you hear
like a thunder clap, and then like,
Robin
It's a-
really wants
yeah.
to ask. Robin really wants to ask him about like his CV and get like a list of all of the notable creatures he's slain, but she's going to resist asking that direction right now.
How can we all leave? What if I want to leave?
That is a much more realistic question. Because as I've already proven, your claims are false. You do not want to leave, or you would have done so. You are bound here by the friendships you've made, by the people you care about, by your own moral conscience, by obligation. And perhaps,
He looks at Wayne.
perhaps, the idea of being a hero. There are ways out, but nearly all are held
By Strahd von Zarovich.
You could simply earn his favor, and as a reward, he would release you. But the price you would pay would leave a stain on your soul that would follow you to the end of your days. I would not fault you if that is the path that you chose. For of all the paths before you, it would be the easiest.
I'd never choose the path of his favor.
Then you must find a way to bind him, to force him to release you. Or one must slay him and take the mantle of his power onto themselves, binding themselves to this prison forever, but gaining the ability to free others.
One must die. Is that what you're saying? And it can be Strahd.
Sadly, that seems to be the way of this place. Sacrifice.
What if I was able to reconsecrate the land?
I see. You have been speaking to the ravens.
She'll pull out the dagger. Show that to him.
Yes, well. This land, before it was Barovia, had many names. Centauros. What was the other one? Alamar? No. There's so much to remember. Regardless, the natives were looked after by and worshipped, and therefore empowered, 3 nature spirits, who they came to call the Thanes of the land. The forest, the swamp, and the mountain. It seems that you are already informed as to the folly of the ancient druids binding von Zarovich to the land. That binding was further corrupted when the Dark Powers took a great interest in him and dragged he, and by association, the land itself, to the Shadowfell. I feel that only by breaking his ties to the land could we even hope to defeat him. But I feel that restoring the land, not just breaking those bonds, but restoring those spirits, perhaps, that could be enough to free not just yourselves, not just some people, but all people. As he says that, Thought from the windowsill says, "Oh, that ain't gonna work. You guys are grossly misinformed about a couple of things here. No offense, old timer, with the glasses and the Wolverine hair. At the Amber Temple, there's a couple of cells that should be full but ain't. So if you're gonna free the land, well, you're gonna have to break," and he looks right at the camera, "the Curse of Strahd."
Isn't his curse that he just can't leave? Or are you talking about his vampirism?
Oh, I'm talking about the whole kit and caboodle. He made a deal just like Sweet Anne, except the person he made a deal with was pretty powerful, and the vessel that he chose has risen quite high. That particular dark power rides around inside Strahd. It's what makes him a god. This
So Strahd himself is not the god. It's the dark power inside him.
bingo.
But do you
Now,
think he's
Strahd all
let us
by
do that?
himself is definitely a tough guy. Don't get me wrong. We're talking like max level fighter, second age of magic, dual class into wizard. Just a real badass person. Plus, you had vampire on there. He's got his brides. He's got the second age of magic ability to make magic items. Necromancer. He's got a undead army. He's got a bunch of monstrosities. He's got an army of mind-controlled vampire spawn, all made from former adventures, much like yourselves. Oof, yeah, you got your work cut out for you if you're trying to save everybody. Trying to save the whole land. Listen, I appreciate the effort, but you know, you shoot for the stars, the moon, something like that. Listen, just focus on going home. All right, these people aren't your problem. You can see Van Richten look at Thought with narrowed eyes, and says, he says, "You are afraid, as is your master. And I do not mean that in a judgmental way." But Thought definitely feels like it was judgmental, and he crosses his little arms in front of his chest, and then falls onto his face because frog anatomy.
But Robin, you should tell him about the carts. About what Madame Eva said.
Robin definitely knows what you're saying, but Lauren, the player, is not remembering what you are referencing.
In the very
Tarot
beginning
reading.
of the campaign, the tarot reading. Tarot reading.
We have a journal for it.
Gotcha. Yes, we do. Yeah, so Robin will kind of recalling the Taroka reading here. She's going to explain that so we went to the Vistani camp, and Madame Eva there gave us a reading that she said would help us.
She is a meddler, that one.
She told us that there was a woman who is an ally of the devil, a wealthy woman. We think it's Lady Wachter in Valakai.
That makes sense. That makes sense, yes.
But she has some kind of treasure that she keeps under lock and key there, with the bones of an ancient enemy. There's also this is some kind of historical thing, something ancient, knowledge of the ancient that would help us to understand more. There's also a holy symbol of hope that is somewhere inside the castle. Someplace there's like a ruin, maybe a ruined temple or a place of prayer, something like that. And then there's also a weapon, a sword of sunlight that could bring vengeance. It's hidden somewhere with the dead under mountains of gold coins, is what she told us. And then she's going to look over to Victor. We found this one already. This is one of our cards. He's the fated champion. His home was his prison, and he was surrounded by wealth and madness, but he's also the key to standing up against the devil. And we're supposed to confront Strahd on a balcony, looking over the land. Someplace in his castle is where that is, I believe.
I have no love for the Vistani people. It took all of the patience in my heart to take on Esmeralda as an apprentice. They took everything from me. They are frequently the servants of dark creatures, fell powers. And they dabble in the dark arts with reckless abandon. The multiverse would be a better place if each and every one of them exterminated. But they are powerful seers. If Madame Eva was willing to risk discovery by Strahd, sharing these visions with you, as obscure and veiled as they are, then they are important.
He told me not to give up.
The Walkner woman, she wields a great deal of power. It says that she keeps the treasure under lock and key. Valakai has no banks. It is likely that if it is important to her, she would keep it somewhere in her home property. The statement about the bones of an ancient enemy, well, it's not an unusual practice in lands with magic to keep the bones of your enemies close, that they cannot be easily revived from the dead. I would wager that whatever you seek is in her manor or under it. Have you had an opportunity to look through her home?
We haven't had a chance to poke through it. We have been in a couple of times, but not...
It's always there, and she's got so many people that work there.
You know, and sometimes brides of Strahd as well.
Yes.
Taylor shudders.
There are many brides. Currently, there are 4 that are a threat. But we can get to that soon enough.
Are they all loyal to him? His
Yes.
brides?
The nature of vampires and vampirism is it's like... It is like a family tree. The blood flows down through the generations of vampires. The spawn have no choice but to serve the master who made them. They have no true free will of their own. That is why so many outsiders, adventurers, would-be heroes now work for the Dark Lord. They were taken in by his charms, both mundane and magical, offered power, offered strength, all the while chains of blood bound around their souls for eternity. As he says that, he dramatically looks towards the window, and there's another off in the distance. Now, a holy symbol would be of great use. My intel on your group tells me that none of you are possessed of any real magical ability. No offense, Belakovich. But if she feels that it would be useful to you, perhaps it is an intelligent item possessed of its own belief, a belief in itself and what it stands for. If that is the case, you would be able to leverage the power of the divine itself against an enemy who fears and is weakened by such power. This could represent a tremendous boon, either to defend yourselves against his powers and his minions, or to outright destroy them. As far as its location,
that sounds very good.
the castle does have a cathedral, a small chapel. It is located on the ground floor. It could be accessed through the courtyard. I imagine that there are one or more ways to access it from within the castle itself. Your lack of magic, which is of course manufactured by Strahd's insecurities, will make that difficult, but not impossible. However, if he finds out that you've come into possession of such an object, you will be marked for execution. Or at least he will send minions to take it from you.
We spent some time in the castle.
Yes,
and
instead of saving the town. But that's fine. That's already happened. Let's keep going.
She's gonna kind of want to like start arguing back, like there was nothing we could, and she's just gonna kind of bite her tongue and like pause for a second. Yeah. While we were there were automaton creatures and a number of a strange animalistic game housekeeper man who did everything. Kind of rodent-like, took a liking to me.
Mongrel folk, a creation of the mad abbot of the Abbey of St. Markovia. Some sort of divine being that's found itself trapped here and initially had the best of intentions, but the Shadowfell has taken toll on the creature's mind. It cannot be trusted.
The abbot is possessed of this creature?
The abbot is
corrupted.
Creature. You're familiar with angels?
She'll nod.
Yes, well, this is a demiplane prison. Anything that is summoned in can never leave. There are those with the power to summon forth extra-dimensional beings. It is my belief that long ago, the abbot was summoned from one of the many heavens to join its caller, its summoner, in a battle against Strahd and his evil, and no doubt the summoner failed, but that left the summoned angel trapped in a realm that seeks nothing more than its corruption. Over
Well, that's
time,
not
the
good.
fell radiation of the Shadowfell has twisted and warped the creature's mind. It mimics what it remembers to be a good and just life, assuming the role of a religious leader. But everything about that creature is a sorrowful disaster. Any who seek its aid find only heartache, corruption.
We have some friends that were petrified by a gargoyle. We were hoping the abbot could
Oh,
help
you
them.
have them with you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, one of them's in like 14 pieces, but the other one's in shape. Good.
I
He's just.
don't know how to break this to you, but I don't think there's any hope for the one that is broken into how many pieces? 14 pieces, you said?
Yeah.
I
We
have
could.
a spare gold needle on me. Strahd keeps the disembodied heads of Medusa in his castle. So I found it prudent to bring some anti-petrification with me.
You could
I
help
feel
him.
silly now, since I work alone. Who would administer the needle to me?
Oh,
I suppose I could just give it to you.
Why do
that
you
would
say
be
that our
awesome.
friend that's in pieces is beyond help?
Because when you're petrified, you're still alive. You're just in a suspended state. So they would have felt the breaking of their entire body, the end of their existence.
But we can't like super glue it back together.
You could, and we could restore the body, but it's likely that the pain of breaking and then the prolonged physical separation would have destroyed their mind
Oh,
quite quickly.
Leo's not gonna like this.
Well, hold on.
Now, there are those who could bring his spirit back into another body.
Wouldn't that spirit already be also broken from feeling all the things and all the separation and stuff too?
Barovia is a prison for all things, including the souls of the dead. There is no afterlife, no heaven, no hell, no purgatory, no oblivion. The souls are recycled back into this limited ecosystem and placed into whatever hosts are currently available. If any children have been born in the few days since your friend shattered, there's a good chance that they're simply already reborn somewhere.
Wait, so you're saying my dad could be a kid here somewhere?
A baby, perhaps, yes. Or an animal. You might have
Okay.
wondered why there's so many wolves here. How could an ecosystem support this many predators? The wolves here are soulless. They are creations of Strahd's desire to hunt and kill, to eat of flesh and drink of blood. In that same way, as the population of this plane grew, there were not enough souls to inhabit all of the life forms being born. You may have encountered people who seemed diminished. They were soulless, just husks, acting out a life that needed to be lived. That is how broken and corrupted this world has become under his stewardship. It's all just a great play, a show, a pantomime of life. But as outsiders are brought in, it adds new life to the terrarium.
So,
And you know who brings those people in? The Vistani. Never let them cozen you in. Their sweet words and their joyous songs and their promises, they cannot be trusted. For they play a part in all of this.
well, getting back to the Vistani and the cards,
Oh,
so
yes, sorry.
there's the one with the under amounts of gold hidden with the dead. I kind of think that's Argon Falseholt. But maybe you would know somewhere else it could be.
Perhaps. I had heard that most of the treasure of Argynvostholt had been lost or pillaged by now, though there remain a great many revenants at the ruins. They might know more.
We met one on the road.
There could be a hidden vault, perhaps, that none have discovered so far. Hidden with the dead. Could also be the crypts beneath Valakai, though that is unlikely. It could really be any dungeon or ruin. An entire town sunk into the swamplands south of here when Strahd flooded the region. Petty outrage. And there are, of course, crypts beneath Castle Ravenloft itself, as well as many vaults full of treasure. This particular card feels like it would be the most difficult to figure out.
Is there anyone who could help us divine exactly what this means or where it is? Now that we know kind of what we're looking for?
If this is all Madame Eva is willing to tell you, then you would require the talents of another soothsayer, or seer, or wizard. You could try your luck with the abbot. It is possessed of tremendous divine power, including divination. You
Could
could
the abbot be
also...
redeemed?
Ugh. I like to believe that all are capable of redemption. Even
Except
the
the
Vistani. No.
Oh, okay.
Madame Eva has proven to be an ally to many, and Esmeralda was one of the greatest people I have ever known. So yes, I do think that perhaps... But... it is hard when the world itself, the air, the land, works against you. You could also try your luck with the Amber Temple, though I will caution you that there is no place more dangerous in all of Barovia than that temple, save the heart of Castle Ravenloft itself. And there was rumors of a wizard who apparently was thrown from the skies above Castle Ravenloft. His body came to land on the northern shores of Lake Zarovich. I have not had a chance to investigate those rumors myself, but perhaps there could be something there.
This...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was going to ask this wizard. If there is something there, do you think it is something that could potentially help Victor become more powerful, more in control, more skilled?
Unlikely. If the wizard's spellbook could be found, he could at least study from that, though if homes of magic are what you desire, allegedly there is a potent library at the Abbey, Castle Ravenloft, and the Amber Temple. Thought from the window says, "Or you, that wizard." Oh, right. Yeah. We watched that wizard fight, on the crystal ball, when he was thrown down with Strahd, and there were little counter spelling and lightning bolts and chain lightning in the air and flying around. Yeah. The Exantha said that, he was still somewhat with it at the time, and he said, what did he say to me? He said, "Oh, Thought, that's got to be Mordenkainen," is what he said to me. And I said, "No, yeah, not the Mordenkainen." And he said to me, "Look, no one else is bald with a goatee." And I said, "Well, I don't think that's true. I think there's a lot of people that are probably bald with a goatee, Exantha." And then he said, "Oh no, I'm sure of it." So that's anyways, he got blasted, just completely wrecked. Yeah, I don't think he banked on the fact that Strahd's like basically immune to most spells, and has an unlimited supply of magic because of his binding to the land and all that. The guy didn't do his research, Didn't do his research. Just kind of said, "Oh, I'm a big shot. Oh, Mordenkainen. I'll just come here and him." No offense, glasses. Not that I'm not saying you did the exact same thing, but you're less qualified than Mordenkainen. But I'm kind of saying that. You see Dr. Rudolph Van Richten's eyes have narrowed into two slits like Brock from Pokemon as he stares down the frog.
Does this Mordenkainen mean something to you, Doctor? Or
Dr. Rudolph Van Richten says, "No, it doesn't mean anything to me. Does the name ring a bell to you?"
Can I roll a check to see if I recognize the name?
You can. Wayne, you and Robin can make a roll. I don't think your characters were very into Dungeons and Dragons though, but you can attempt a history check if you'd like.
Only Dan
Sure,
was
why
here.
not?
Okay. Taylor, that definitely sounds like a wizard name, and but you yourself don't know who Mordenkainen is.
Definitely a wizard.
Yeah. But with all the other things you've heard about this famous duel between the bald wizard and Strahd a year ago, it does sound like the frog knows what he's talking about. Wayne, you got no idea. Robin, what's a Mordenkainen?
wizard of some sort,
Yeah.
apparently.
Sounds like one of those words that like phrases that are like a word like mayonnaise.
So Van Richten says, also, the arcane arts take years of mastery, unless you're some sort of sorcerer. Did you come by your talents naturally, or have you studied them? And Victor says, well, I started to do things on my own, but my understanding is all wizards have cantrips, magic that comes naturally to them that indicates their connection to the weave. And through that small connection, they can learn to craft and control the magic that infuses all things, including robots. And then Rudolph Van Richten nods. He says, then you are a wizard. I pity you. It is a difficult path and expensive. So expensive.
Well, he can shoot giant balls of fire.
It's incredible. Fireball. Excellent.
If only he could somehow stop a million bets.
My recommendation for you, Velikovich, you need to seek out ancient text and scrolls. Unfortunately, Von Zarovich, a wizard in his own right, some might even say an archmage, is an avid collector of such things. Generally, if he or his servants find out that such objects exist, they are taken to Castle Ravenloft. However, always be on the lookout for them. Perhaps you will be able to find some and use them to master those particular spells. I know a few spells myself, but my method of learning them is a bit esoteric. It's tied up in my personal beliefs and devotions.
We've
He's
mentioned
essentially a wisdom-based sorcerer, essentially.
we've mentioned Castle Ravenloft a few times, and I mentioned the automatons and
Yes.
such, and the. You said you've snuck in a few times. When we were there, it felt like any stepping outside the very narrow lines of hospitality that we were shown would be summarily dealt with. Do you have any insight or guidance on how we might be able to visit parts of the castle that...
He pushes his cool glasses up his sharp nose, and then lightning flashes in the window, and it goes across the the two pieces of glass there as glasses, and he says, "That's why I work alone. No group checks." No, he doesn't say that. He says, "That's why I work alone. I cast invisibility upon myself, and I move with the stealth and precision of a master thief."
Victor can cast invisibility. We bought him that.
That's wonderful. You could cast it on those who need it the most, and try to make your way through the castle.
What sorts of dangers, other than the brides and Strahd and so forth?
All manner of undead, skeletons, zombies, wights, wraiths, specters, ghosts. They allow giant spiders to breed and populate wherever they feel like. Innumerable magical servants, golems, other constructs of that nature.
I saw a large minotaur in his service. Not to mention the vampire spawn that are just crawling, literally, all over the castle. There's a room just made out of bones. It's a bad room. He looks a little haunted when he remembers that room. Gargoyles. So many gargoyles.
How in tune to what is happening would you say that the staff and masters of the castle are? For instance, if we were to,
of course,
avoid them and wander off the path far enough, do they themselves stray out of the path of the standard rooms, or
all the denizens of the castle wander the castle freely? I have seen and encountered them. Fortunately, they did not encounter me throughout the castle. Added to that is the complication: the castle is a living thing. In many cultures, if you...
alive?
Yes. In many cultures, if you care for something enough, it takes on its own spirit. in that same way. Von Zarovich's love of Castle Ravenloft has elevated it, infused it with spirit, and it, in turn, protects him. Yet another layer of protection. There's a beating heart that once belonged to the dragon Argynvostholt. Now, a resplendent crystalline simulacrum that beats constantly within the largest tower of the castle. Whenever its master is hurt, the castle bears those wounds in his place.
Could this heart be removed?
When you say
Okay.
that, he gets a old man like silver fox like smile, like like the corner of his mouth kind of curl up a little bit, and he says, "Oh yes, it could definitely be destroyed."
Could it be returned to Argynvostholt?
The dragon was hacked up for parts by Strahd and his minions. Unfortunately, I don't believe the creature could come back, but if it could, in any capacity, it would make a powerful ally. I imagine that those dedicated to his service, the revenants of the ruins of Argynvostholt, would know more about that.
We met one on the road, and he seemed very honor-driven and single-minded.
Mm-hmm.
But they did seem like very stout warriors. Is there potential there to work with them, even if they are
Perhaps.
unliving creatures of some sort?
I have not given them much attention directly. I gave the ruins a cursory look. I gathered rumors and information about them. Mostly they seem lost in their grief and desire for revenge. But like three birds who sit on a branch, deciding to fly away, they never do. For
They need leadership.
plotting revenge, dreaming of revenge, is not the same as taking revenge.
They need leadership and catalyst, something to move them to the next step.
Exactly. That's not my area of expertise. As I've already said, I work alone.
Seems so impossible, though. Like, how can we go into this castle and steal this gem thing without Strahd just stopping us?
Are you asking thought, or are you just asking the room?
I'm asking everybody.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I was just thinking aloud, like.
Yeah. I feel so bad because I want Darby to be in on this, like Ed, but like Van Richten's not going to leave the tower to have this conversation because he doesn't want to get scryed on, and then you guys have your fears that would keep you from coming into the castle.
Yeah, no, man.
Yeah.
Going up that thing.
It is what it is.
Okay. All right. Ugh. Van Richten says, no, if Strahd was suitably distracted, that could enable others to make the attempt. He is a man and is possessed of weaknesses of the flesh. That is one of the many, but least known weaknesses of the vampire.
Well, so Wayne could just romance him, and then
Perhaps.
we could go grab it.
Robin's going to try to catch Von Richten's gaze here for a minute. She's going to say, I know you work alone. And I'm not asking to change that. What I am wondering is if there were two groups, say us and then you, as separate groups who shared similar interests, not working together per se, but if we both wanted the heart to be no longer under Strahd's control, and if we were able to figure out a way to distract him and let you know when we might be doing that distraction, is something like that within the realms of the edges of collaboration that you might consider?
Absolutely. But before you run off and break hearts, you need to understand. Imagine a neighborhood with many children. There is a dog that lives in the neighborhood. A cruel thing. It barks at the children. It frosts at the mouth. It frightens them. It delights in their terror. None of the children act against it. Until one day, one child is brave. He's been pushed too far. His little brother was made to pee his pants from the dog's fearful presence. And so he takes a stick and he pokes the dog to show the dog he is not afraid. What the children don't know is that the dog could easily jump the fence. Strahd will not suffer opposition for long. When one acts against him, they must be ready for the rebuttal.
Yeah, we've seen that in action already.
So, you must decide what needs to be done. You must line up these tasks. And you must decide what can be done without making the dog jump the fence. And the things that would cause that to happen, you need to be ready. You need to be able to act swiftly and defend your efforts. You do not want to act rashly and without a plan, or you will join his menagerie of spawn, or that endless parade. So, do you have a map?
Yeah.
Not
We have
with
a
us,
much
it's,
better.
with one of
Yes,
the parties down below.
It's downstairs.
Perhaps your friends can be coaxed in to have a conversation on the ground floor. And he steps out of the elevator.
Serious question. What are you basing your previous statement that Jason's mind is fractured and he's good as dead?
Well, experience, studies, speculation.
We're going thought.
Boing.
So you have firsthand experience with a someone who worked with you previously that was turned to stone, and they broke apart. And when you tried to put them back together, reanimate them, they were insane.
When you
I'm
say
just
that, his already serious demeanor grows even more serious, and he says, I have a lot of experience dealing with those who have been driven mad by death. Yes.
And I'm asking if you've dealt with this exact situation that we find ourselves in.
I have not, and you are welcome to try. I am not your keeper. I only offer my knowledge and advice. These are your maps?
Yes,
mean,
we
We're
just got this
foreigners,
one.
and this is
It's
what we can
brand
get our
new.
hands on.
I see.
yeah. So if you have any
It's
additional
it's-
information, you can provide us.
It's serviceable. All right. So, I'm going to move this one out of the way. Hold on. And we don't need this one. All right. So, and he reaches into this little baggie he grabbed before he head downstairs, and it's full of adorable little D&D miniatures carved from wood. And he says, all right, here we have Strahd. All right. Now, who is protecting Strahd? Well, you have the Vistani. So, there's that. Leading all of the Vistani is the man Aragal, who, from my understanding, you are familiar with.
Very.
He has another human servant who goes by the name of... it's escaping me right now. Von Silly. No, Vasily. Vasily von Holtz.
We've
These
also
are
met
his
this.
human emissaries out in the world. There is a third, one that you are familiar with as well. The traitorous Dark Elf. Rahadin.
Do you have any string that we can start putting these up on a wall?
Oh,
with?
yeah, sure. You guys should totally use a marker tool, make your murder board. Okay. Strahd's,
Talk about the mail. I've been dying to talk about the mail.
yeah. So he says, these are his mortal emissaries in the world. Though I am rather suspicious of von Holtz. He seems like a hard man to read. There's also the Wachner woman. I feel that she is being manipulated by von Holtz, though she probably views it the other way around. And then there are his supernatural servants. Sadly, the most recent addition is Father Lucian, who he turned during the Civil War of Valakai. He also has his bride, the least of whom is Escher. Escher seems to be the softest and least cruel of the active brides.
He's from our world from about, 60, 70 years ago? Something like that.
Yes, it's fascinating how these demiplanes have no respect for time or space. I, at one point, sought to use the nature of demiplanes to travel through time and fix the mistakes of my past. What a disaster that turned out to be. Then there is Valenta Popovsky. She is an outsider who was dragged into Barovia by Aragal to serve as an opponent to Strahd. He was a servant of the demon lord Baphomet, a warlock ranger specializing in monstrosities and fiends. When the two finally met on the battlefield, it was love at first sight. Then there is Anastasia. She's a Barovian native who went after Strahd and got him. She's always sought power, and has always, at least according to the histories and the rumors of the locals, been cruel beyond all measure. It is believed that he was able to win Strahd's affection because he has a weakness for redheads. Then there is Ludmilla. Ludmilla is another Barovian native, easily the smartest and most capable of the four brides. She manages most of Strahd's affairs when he is despondent and unwilling to do his job as Lord of the Realm. My general understanding is that the three women have divided the civilized lands up amongst themselves. However, he has other servants. Fortunately, a group of brave outsiders has defeated one of them. The leader of the faithless druids. A man named, what was it, Sarvoth? Something like that. Varag? I think that's right. He puts a little miniature down. This guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Fortunately, you've removed him and his machinations from the playing field.
And we did it in a way that didn't seem to piss off Strahd.
Yes. Which is fascinating to me. Either the faithless are beneath him, or he is enjoying the show you are putting on. I wish I knew more about his motivations, other than cruelty and pettiness. There is a woman by the name of Baba Lysaga. It is important you do not call her Baba Lasagna, a delicious pasta dish that I haven't had since I left Archon.
Archon sounds wonderful.
It's not. We're ruled by an ageless lich who was once rivals with Strahd von Zarvit.
Sounds terrible. Never mind.
He actually does a pretty good job of running the realm, all things considered. But we're doing way better than Barovia. So much better. I can't stress that enough. I say it's bad, but it's not as bad as this. This is a new definition of bad.
I mean, you have lasagna. It's a step up.
Yes, well, this is she's ancient beyond all measure, and kept alive by her service to the goddess Mother Night, who holds a tremendous amount of power here in the demiplane. She lives in these swamps. Where's your map? This is swamps. Yeah, right about there. Somewhere in here. She is a silent and secret supporter of Strahd von Zarvit. She is far below his notice, but she, for whatever reason, is obsessed with him and does everything she can to support him. Her recent bout of madness had her teaming up with Svarog, going against the Ravens, who she believes will lead to Strahd's downfall. She cannot rest until every Raven in Barovia has been slain, both mundane and lycanthropic. She is also in possession of one of the 3 Thane Stones. You hear him rustling around in his bag. Where did I put those Thane stones?
Are those the stones from the winery?
Yes! Yes, the Keepers of the Feather, a secret, he makes air quotes, organization of were-ravens dedicated to the betterment of life, protection of the people, and eventual revival of the land. They're doing a pretty shit job, if you ask me. Let's see. Ah, here it is. So, there is the Soul of Winter, which was in the possession of Zarog after he stole it from the winery, though you, I believe, have returned it.
We have.
Then there is the Essence of Change. Also, if you can click on these, please don't, because it'll spoil like what they do. So, but I'll just put it down so you have like a representation of them. This is in the possession of Barbara Lysaga. And then there is the Heart of Summer, which I believe is in the possession of a trio of child-murdering hags, who are on my to-do list, but there's just so much to do. There's just so much to do.
I believe we also would like to see some hags removed.
Now, these hags are an easy target, for they are not only beneath Strahd's notice, but actually act against his personal code of ethics, in so much as they harm children.
Again, meta question. I was out a bit. Am I remembering that that we have reason to believe one of them may already be dead?
Yeah.
You suspect.
You suspect.
Based
Yeah,
on a
you're
milestone. Based on a
Yeah.
meta milestone.
Okay.
And talking to a random ass mirror.
And we sent a group of hunters to go kill them too.
Okay, yeah, but I mean those guys.
just for good measure.
So that feels like a good thing that maybe we should think about as a low-hanging fruit, is going and collecting that stone.
Also, another thing too is I think Minodora wants us to go there as well. Save kids.
Okay. Then there's the heart of Castle Ravenloft. Hold on a moment. Yeah. Go. All right. So, as long as the Heart of Summer, the Soul of Winter, and the Essence of Change are not being used to break his ties to the swamps, the forest, and the mountains, Strahd von Zarovich is essentially unkillable. The land itself will act against you to stop him from coming to harm. Any harm that does befall him, even a paper cut, is absorbed by the castle itself. Getting to the man and even harming him would involve getting past his inner circle of powerful guardians. I haven't had the time to whittle small representations of the different vampire spawn in his service, some of whom are staggeringly strong. But these are the main movers and shakers. You might have noticed something here. There are no werewolves. The werewolves of Barovia are so vile, so chaotic, and so unruly that Strahd von Zarovich doesn't bother with them at all.
I'm making a list in. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. Keep going. Yeah.
I'm making a list in Discord.
Oh, okay. I'll remove my list. It was kind of hard to do with only doing one line at a time.
And then there is the mystery of Strahd's dark patron. He says, kind of eyeballing the frog. What or who is it? What is giving him this power? What brought him, and by extension, the land of Barovia, here? So, we can add to this your holy symbol. Well, let's make a star, I guess. The weapon. I don't know, maybe a sword, spear. I don't know. You have your ally. I don't have a victor carved. Here we go. Just put this guy down here. And then, what was the other one? Ah, yes, you think there's some sort of scroll, a book? If that's the case, we can assume that Lady Walkner has it. So at least you have a location for that one. In your estimation, is Walkner beneath Strahd's notice?
I really just I don't think he cares about her. I think that like he doesn't want to. He's got the rule that no harm comes to the leaders, right? That he cares about, but
Cared about the political situation in Valakai, and he sent one of his brides to deal with it. And I think during that situation, Vakta was under supervision, but I don't know that she is day to day now.
I think she just like got the job based on circumstance.
Well,
And loyalty.
yes, my understanding is that the Walkner family were original immigrants along with Strahd himself. That that noble family served in Strahd's invading army to conquer these lands. They have been loyal since before he was a vampire, since before his curse began.
It's so weird because that card it called for a traitor. Or it was the traitor card. I don't know if that means that she will betray him or
No, perhaps she's a traitor to the people of Barovia because of her loyalty to Strahd. If Madame Eva is truly a sympathizer for those caught in this prison, then she might view someone loyal to Strahd as a traitor to the people.
yeah, that makes sense. Taylor looks at her 6 intelligence.
There is the question of the balcony. I don't exactly know what that means, but if that's where Madame Eva foresaw your battle, it could simply mean that if you were to battle him there, it would be the most fortuitous place you could face him. That perhaps in that location, you would have the best chance of success. Meta, you feel like you would have some like bonuses or layer action or something good if that was where you decided to fight him.
I hope we get the privilege of deciding where to find him. So
Make it an
I
opportunity.
mean,
Make it an opportunity.
Yeah, his balcony.
according to fate, like you will fight him there. So the problem is, God forbid you accidentally walk onto that balcony too early, right? Like,
we no longer step on any balconies until we're ready.
honestly, that's a smart fucking move. That's a good policy.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Stay away from high things.
Heights are fine, just no balconies.
Yeah, but you can't have a balcony without heights.
There's also that mortar-caning guy we could check out.
Now, what we have here is what I believe to be the most pivotal components in play. Adding in mystery patron from the frog and your Taroka reading. Each of these stones could be recovered, for it does not seem that the changing of hands seems to matter or bring about any response from von Zarvit. I should also mention, I believe the rumors and the superstitions around saying his name have credence. I only speak his name openly because inside this tower we are free from divination magics. But I believe that any time his name is spoken, he is aware of it and able to listen in.
Oh, so we need like a code name.
So hopefully you have not been saying his name too much.
I think we say it a lot.
We say it more than we definitely should.
That's, I believe, is why over the generations, the people of these lands have taken to calling him the Dark Lord or the Devil, but never to speak his name in full, for it invites, literally, his gaze.
Something less terrifying than like Filbert or something like that.
We could call him the target. I mean, look at this murder board. He's right in the middle. No, not the. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. I mean, that might get confusing to what our current target is.
Now, what I know about von Zarovich is that in life he was a cruel man, but a competent one. Cold, calculating, but respected by his underlings, his family, and his peers. He strives to remain the man that he was. But vampirism creates something new from what was. And he could never fully be the man that he was in life. He despises banditry, idolatry, cruelty to women and children, and apparently people who don't pay their taxes. That's a real bad thing, apparently. He gets real upset about that. Every 50 to 100 years, he falls madly in love with a red-haired woman. It always ends badly.
Is this why Anastasia does not like Arinia or the Kolyana family?
Oh, is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. There's a connection there?
Robin will look over to Arinia. Like, go on, tell him.
She says, she threatened to kill me, and then she killed my father, I think, but I guess she didn't kill him because of Empire, that we didn't killed him, but I'm not sure. And he says, And like he sees Irenia, and he like walks up to her, and his like beak nose, he kind of puts like almost to her nose as he's like scrutinizing her, and he says,
He also was doing non-lethal damage to Arinia, making sure she did not die when we fought him.
Hmm. Has he made any obvious overtures towards her?
Towards you, madam. Excuse me. I don't mean to speak as if you aren't here. Sorry.
She says, I don't think so. I mean,
Killed his father's killer.
well, he did kill. Yeah, he did kill. Dory, he did kill him. Yes. Ah, perhaps he thought that was a gentleman's gift to you. I wonder then, are you the next? I worry that this girl, that you, Miss Kolyana, might be in grave danger. Perhaps she is why you're all still alive. No. It could not be so base, so simple. He's too powerful. If he wanted to take you away, he just would. What is going on here?
I mean, I don't have enough information of what you're talking about, but he seems like someone who, even though he has lots of power, enjoys the games and processes of things as much as the power itself.
Mm.
Can you explain your little esoteric rambling
Oh,
there a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit?
I'm sorry. Yes. So, the map. The map. All right. So, Baba Lysaga, the Cursed Marsh,
The ruins of Berez.
Berez used to be a thriving town, nestled in the valley of the Mount Gakis Range. It was prosperous, paid its taxes on time, and was a rival to Valakai for its prosperity and its growth. On a trip there, this is per the history that I was able to discover, Strahd met a girl who was in the service of the town's burgomaster. A beautiful girl, a red-haired girl. He was smitten. He found out that the girl, an orphan, had been adopted by the burgomaster, but now that she had come of age, the burgomaster intended to bed her and wed her and force her to be his wife. But Strahd wanted her for himself. There is a strange ritual to vampiric love where when they want to turn someone but have that person retain a bit more free will and not just become some mindless thrall, but their own person with a leash, a lead, as it were, that the master vampire could pull back in emergencies, but other than that, they can still act somewhat independently. The ritual for change is not so rough and sudden. It's a period of 3 nights of feeding and exchanging blood. Once the prospective partner is thrice bitten, their union becomes eternal. Strahd never got that third bite. For when the burgomaster and the local priest discovered the ailing condition of the woman, They burned her alive. Recognizing the signs. Recognizing what was happening. When Strahd discovered this, he called upon the powers of the land itself, and he brought storms and rain that washed all of Berez away and left the ruins submerged for over a decade before the land settled into the cursed marshlands they are today. This tragedy repeats throughout the history and the lost history of Barovia, time and time again. Strahd finds a girl, a woman, sometimes a man, with red hair and a personality like fire that draws him in, but ultimately leads to the ruin of both and all who get in the way.
During this, Robin has like put her arm around Irenia and kind of like pulled her a little closer.
Yeah, Irenia murmurs to you, yeah, this tracks with everything else that's going on. I mean, sure, let's do it. Reincarnated girlfriend of crazed vampire god. He's fine. He's... Don't know why I thought it would be something different. I mean, that makes sense, you know.
Nothing should surprise you now.
Thank you, Anne. Yes, you're right. Nothing surprised me anymore. And Van Richten says, I'm sorry, I was an academic in my youth, and I tend to get just lost in thought and carried away by threads of possibility. Let us focus on what matters. What I'm trying to say is, Strahd's desire to be the man that he was motivates him, fuels him, and guides his every action. But
Some
he
might say that that
slips.
is a weakness.
Yes, exactly. I feel that his desire to be taken as the gentleman he was, as the noble lord that he longs to be, could be used against him. I'm not sure how.
So are you saying that we go to the castle and have Irenia romance him so we can steal his stuff?
Irenia blushes. What if he wants to, like, you know... You know?
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying that's what it seems
Taylor,
like
what
he's
if he
saying.
wants to, you know, put it in me, you know? Like his teeth? Like put them in my neck?
Don't do that. No, don't do that.
Oh.
It's very painful to get bit.
And that's not a first time you should be preparing for at all.
She says, don't worry. I have an ironclad will. I could resist him and his magics.
You're very brave.
Thank you.
Robin just kind of gives her a squeeze.
So Van Richten says, I mean, if you're willing to take that risk, that is on you. You are a young and vivacious woman who has your whole life ahead of you, and I think that getting too close to Strahd could be very bad for you.
Robin's going to say, it's certainly something we could look at. I think there are steps that need to happen well before we get to anything like that.
Yeah, of all the cards though, that holy symbol thing sounds So important.
All right, here, I'm going to add Mardukov down here to represent Order of the Raven. So that is technically an ally that you guys have as the Order of the Ravens. Now,
Actually-
if you guys are... Oh, what's up?
If you can, I made a to-do list journal. I don't know if you can go in and make it so that everybody's owner, so that
Oh,
we can
yeah,
write it at
sure,
the same
sure.
time.
Okay. Does it just say to do?
Yeah, to-do list. I put it in chat if you want to just click on it in the chat.
Okay, I got it. Here we go. Make it editable by everybody. Dunzos.
Very awesome.
Okay. So Van Richten will say, as I've already established, I work alone. But alliances might be needed if we are to win this. I am on good terms with the Order of the Feather. But I have made no headway at all in dealing with the people of Krezk. It's my understanding that the people of Krezk have no love for the Dark Lord and could be recruited, perhaps, against him. I already mentioned that the werewolves of the northwestern mountains and forest are an independent faction that just sort of does whatever they will. If they could be brought under a strong leader opposed to von Zarvit, they could also be brought in as allies. Regarding the abbot, I feel that that being is beyond hope. I don't think that's...
Maybe we can find this holy symbol that we were foretold. Maybe that could help.
Perhaps. On that same note, there are the revenants of Argynvostholt. If you could get through to them, they could provide useful information, and best case scenario, you would have an army of paladins assisting you.
I would be
And
interested
in the northern mountains of Baratok, there are Kavani, native wild men who are opposed to the Faithless. If you could deliver news of the Faithless defeat, you might be able to recruit them to your cause.
Yeah, I guess we should put a section for potential allies. But I don't know how to create a section. Okay. I did have one more thing I wanted to ask you. We found a girl. She was gonna be turned into a werewolf, but we saved her. But she's really young.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could send her home, just her, that I don't know if you could do that. But she doesn't belong here.
I can't. I actually got here by forcing a Vistani to bring me here. I held him at knife point, forced him to take me to Barovia. When we arrived, I slit his throat to silence him. So OOC, this guy really doesn't like this.
Yeah,
Like,
no
No,
shit.
we got that. Yeah, we got that.
No. Like, the lore is so dark, we're not going to talk about it. Like, he really doesn't like Vistani. So yeah, the fact that he trained Esmeralda as his apprentice is a whole thing. But yeah. He says, but I could do the same for her
if you wanted me to. And she says, I don't want anyone's throat to get slit just so that I can go home. I want to go home, but I don't want anyone to get hurt. And when he sees her, you see in his eyes heartbreak and really bad PTSD. And he stares at her really hard, and then he like looks away, ashamed of himself. And he says, the road is no safe place for a small girl. She can stay here in the tower if you need a safe place for her. If I find a way to send her home, I will. But if you feel that she is safer with you, I will not stop you. You saved her life, and in a way, her life is yours now.
OOC, this seems like an opportunity to make a new Esmeralda. But I don't think we should leave her here.
I mean, it would sort of address the main concern about not anyone being available to protect her. I mean, the tower is a place of protection, but we would be leaving a child in an environment children, let alone a human, an adult, should not live in.
Mm.
I mean, that you just described Barovia.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
All
she's
right,
got a
so
job.
either,
Like, are we really gonna strip her from her employment? Like,
Yep, no, I'm just throwing it out there. This guy, you know, he has
it
his
is
own
Leo's call.
he has his own hangups with kids and bad shit happening to kids, so like he, you know, he's willing to give her a safe place. It's not an optimal place, but it's definitely a safe place.
I agree. It's up to Leo. ...
For now.
I mean, it's better than it seems like most of the cities around here, and with us, it's not exactly safe.
But who will bear your torch?
Nowhere is safe, but this gives an option
What
if
do you
you
mean?
don't want
I'll
to have
find a new
responsibility.
torchbearer. I bet I can convince a ghost to be my torchbearer.
Look,
It's a class feature. I mean, you'll definitely find something to carry your torch.
Yeah, it just might take a while.
Oh, that's
Look,
what he also notices, like out the door. He like sees your wagon, and he sees the statue of Eastmark. He says, "Is that your friend who was petrified?"
One of
yes. Well,
I have but one gold needle, though I am capable of creating more. I would need the stomach bile of a basilisk or the throat stone of a cockatrice. I believe there's a cockatrice on the loose in Castle Ravenloft. A massive specimen.
well, since we're not sure about
Basilisks, I believe, are mostly endangered, possibly extinct, but they are last spotted in the marshlands of Berez.
what you said about Jason, maybe we could just use the
What do you
needle
say
now
about
and
Jason? Can that needle do I stitch him up?
no.
It
You
will
know, Humpty
return.
Dumpty.
It will return an organism that was originally flesh, but turned to stone back to flesh. That is what this needle will do.
Oh,
But if we use it on Jason, he'd still be in pieces.
yeah, that's a bad idea. All right, so we need a needle that stitches stone, and then we just, you know, make him a stone man or something. Eh? Something like that. Is that how Humpty
Irenia
Dumpty
looks at
works?
you, Leo, with a great deal of pity on her face and sadness, because she had, you know, secret crush on Jason. but she looks at the statue of Eastmark. She says, "Listen, I'll go like romance the Dark Lord if you give me the needle, and I'll fix my brother so he can go back home and take care of the village of Barovia."
No, I don't feel comfortable you making that kind of commitment. That is not appropriate.
Well, I think that
Yeah,
we
she's
should
like a
still.
modern Joan of Arc.
We could save Eastmark right now. We should do it.
Yeah.
You don't need to
agreed.
make a commitment to us.
And
Yeah,
Van
every
Richten
Eastmark
says,
was
keep an eye out for such things, for again, there are a number of creatures that can turn one's flesh to stone. And I can create more of these to help you, but I would need the ingredients, the reagents.
So what you're saying is we use this needle on Eastmark now, go kill this beast, and come back and make a new one for
Well,
when
you
Jason's
make it
ready.
The issue with
sound very easy, but yes, essentially.
he said that Jason, his mind might be broken.
Yeah, and then when he brings it back, if his mind is broken, then his mind is broken. But until then,
Yeah, I mean, Jason's the strongest guy I know. He can handle this, you know. We've been through,
And
thick and thin.
Irenia, who was not upstairs for the conversation about the abbot, she says, "Besides, we can still just take the barrel to the abbey, and then he work his miracle.
True.
Then we got Jason back."
But the abbot is bad news.
What?
mean
When
the
does the
abbot's
abbot
bad?
become bad news? He makes miracles happen.
He's can you just tell them?
So he launches into his theory about the abbot again. And Irenia's like, "No, that's crazy. An angel who got trapped here went crazy, decided to pretend to be a priest, and is just cursing people instead of healing them?" Okay, actually, that does sound like something that would happen in Barovia. That does sound... I'm not going to believe it. I'm going to see this abbot for myself. I cannot lose the last hopeful thought that I had carried around. I'm not going to. I'm sorry, Dr. Rudolph, but it's not going to happen. I am going to make my own assessment in person. That's when I will decide. And he says, "I am not your keeper. Do whatever you think is best." So, any questions? The hour grows late. You're welcome to camp inside the base of the tower or heading off to wherever you intend to go.
Well, after the tower, didn't realize it was inhabited. I think we were going to go to Rezik, although maybe we have a different goal now.
I don't think we should waste time in Kresik. I think we should go and get the stones.
Krezik has firearms. They have the means and the people to make more bullets. Those are things that Leo and myself need. It's not a waste.
I mean, yeah.
Recycling resources.
Rudolph does nod at that, and he says, Krezik is renowned for their skill at arms and the hunting of monsters.
And who runs Krezik? Is it the Abbey?
No, Burgomaster Dmitry Krezkov and his wife.
Okay, where are they on this this board that you made?
It's this beefy boy right here. He's a big fella. Their skill at silversmithing bullets, I've never seen anything finer. And Darkon has no shortage of firearms. Darkon has a very like Life of P vibe from what I understand. It's like very like that kind of like, I don't know what that age in history was.
Like
But
Victorian. Gothic
Victorian,
horror.
yeah, it's very like Victorian. Like Barovia is like, damn, this is like Gothic horror, but a lot of grimdark thrown in. But they're more like Gothic high fantasy kind of setting.
All right. Yeah. Bullets would be good, but like we have enough to hold us over. I think. I mean, it's not like we shoot all the time.
Well, Victor looks down at all the minis and he says, well, if we already have one, and we have to choose between an insanely powerful pasta lady or 3 ladies who kill kids, I mean, I felt like this one's also just down the road.
Is it down
These
the road or is it by the windmill? Bone
Well,
grinder.
it's the road leads to the windmill, whereas an inhospitable marshland full of unknown danger and poisonous beasts leads to this one.
Arkenvalstalt is in between that one and us as well.
That's true. Then there's also Arkenvassal.
Yeah, but that
And
one's
past
not on the barter
Arkenvalstalt
board.
is the temple.
I mean, sort of. It's way down there on the bottom.
I mean, we
Falling
could
off the page.
do Arkenvassal and then go back to here.
I mean, if she's got the kids, and if we think she might be dead already,
Yeah.
that seems like
Minodora does say that. But the werewolves have kids too.
All right, we go get the bone kids, bring them back. We'll.
But we're
Drop 'em
already
off.
right here, and the werewolves are right there.
But
they can
where
be
was the
anywhere. we don't know
where was
exactly where they're at.
where was our intel on that
Yeah,
werewolf
I know
leader?
where they are. There's a cave that looks like a wolf skull.
did we end up killing that lady?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We didn't talk to her.
Totally.
Yeah,
We didn't even say hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But,
that's how we fed it. We got the heart.
We found something out about like their old leader that they want back. Didn't the bone grinder lady have her? Or something?
I don't think we know where he is. I think
Or
it's,
him?
they
He's
showed us a
missing.
picture of a man, and I don't know where he is. That lady did mention his name though. Actually, no, I was knocked out. I didn't say that.
Mm-mm. All right. Now, Van Richten, he's just vibing. He's not telling you guys what to do.
Yeah.
He's just, like, as far as he's concerned, he works alone.
Robin
As
would
far as he's-
turn to him and she would just say, based on what you know
Mm,
and what we've told you about what we know,
mm,
again, we're not asking you to travel with us or anything, but given your wisdom and significant knowledge, what would you say are the most important things that we could accomplish right now? What order would you accomplish them in if you could?
Ooh. If I had your resources and the ability to work with a team,
Which obviously you don't, and we're not asking you.
He doesn't understand.
Maybe he's cursed.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you. I can't just say it, but so he says, before things get too crazy or unstable, I would head back to Valakai and find this knowledge that the Watcher woman has. If you intend to distract and bamboozle the Dark Lord and get to his chapel unnoticed, this could be a good practice run. If you can't distract one woman while you ransack her home, then you certainly can't handle distracting the Lord of this domain while you ransack his church.
Well,
That
in
would-
that case, before we go back
Then-
to Valakai, we need to go to Krezk because I have a message for the abbot from the Watcherwoman.
But we
From-
could make
From
we could make up a
Valakai,
message.
I would say just go get the other stone. There's so many of you, even if these hags try to put up a fight, there's no way they could kill all of you. Well, I suppose if each of them cast fireball at the same time. Some of you are dexterous. Maybe. And you can see that he's running some numbers in his head. You'd have to get the drop on them. Focus fire for sure.
I'm in the boat of going to Krezk, resupplying, heading back to Valakai, stealing whatever this knowledge is, then heading to the Bone Grinder and killing those hags.
I really understand the bullet thing. I really do. But I'm in the boat of, if we go to Krezk, that's just starting timers. Like,
So what?
that we're
But who
gonna...
cares?
Who gives a shit about the fucking timers?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Remy,
forget the
are you
timers.
trying to are you
let-
trying to
let
fucking
them-
5-star Curse of Strahd? Like
No,
who
no,
fucking
no,
cares?
no. I'm not
let
trying to
them-
5-star Curse of Strahd.
I
I'm
think
just-
that we're at the
Do you
point now
know?
that
Do you know anyone in Krezk? Do you fucking care what happens to them? Who fucking fuck those guys? Like fuck
So-
those guys, man. Who fucking cares? Get your fucking bullets and leave.
yeah, like we have made the conscious decision of leaving a town to its own devices because we had other stuff we wanted to do.
You already
So-
fucked Valakai right up the
We're-
asshole. Like
we're
why
not-
why are you trying to pretend like you give a shit?
A lot of... all I'm saying is, I played this game, not this game, but I played these games before, and I just know we're gonna go there and we're gonna try to get roped into shit, and we're gonna have, and it sounds so easy right now, being like, fuck those guys, but then when they're like, my children, they're sick and dying, and we're gonna be like, oh, the poor kids, the poor kids. We went on a fucking 8-week
It'll be like we're
side
on
quest
attack
to
by
save a
werewolves
random
every night.
encounter 6-year-old
But you
from becoming a
already
werewolf.
You already started timers involving children when you found Minodora. And you don't seem to care about those children, Remy. So, like, why do you care about the children you haven't met in Krezk yet?
I mean, we didn't even go.
I don't care now, but when I get there, I'll care.
When you found out there was an orphanage, you started timers. So many kids have fucking died because of you guys. Like, I thought you'd be over it by now. A little girl drowned in the lake. You could have saved her.
Look,
you
look,
didn't.
I was playing Chris. All right, that's a
Well,
different person than Taylor.
I'm just letting you know, like, the amount of children that you guys have killed
Oh my god.
off screen is insane. It's insane the amount of kids that you've killed through inaction. Why
Now,
are you letting it bother you now?
To be clear, this is the whole age-old debate of like, is it your fault if like other people do things through your lack of right?
Exactly.
Because like
It's the,
we also
it's the
could have just
hero's
died.
conundrum. It's the hero's
Right.
conundrum. How does
Exactly.
Superman
I'm just
fucking
saying, if we
sleep at
go
night?
over there, we're getting
Because
conundrums.
Superman
That's
Superman has
That's fine.
the plot armor to do it all. We don't, so we have to.
He
make
does
smart
look,
it.
choices.
look,
That's
all I
that's
was
an
saying-
that's an ongoing plot
All-
line.
all
in
I was
Superman is he
saying-
doesn't have the ability to do it all, and he hates that.
So
all-
here's Robin's worries about going to Krezk.
Mm-hmm.
Is we've got a fallen angel who's running the place and has created like weird mongrel people.
Well, he runs the monastery up the hill.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
the
But
person who runs-
yeah,
the person who
Right,
runs-
yeah.
the person who
But
runs
I
Krezk is
know.
this dude.
I know if we go to Krezk, we're going to that goddamn monastery.
And even,
I already
And we're
fucking
gonna
know
fight
it.
Satan.
and even if we don't, how is it even possible that the fallen angel in Krezk is not influencing more than just whatever's happening inside
Oh,
that
you know that whole
monastery?
town is fucked sideways because of it. Like,
Totally.
This,
like,
this
Blossom,
is
chill out.
this is Robin's worry about all of this stuff
So
that she
what?
would express. Now, that said, bullets have been really the only thing that have kept us alive.
Pretty useful. They do a lot
So-
of damage.
So
I
she
mean-
could be persuaded on that argument alone.
Silver bullets, they don't just kill werewolves, they kill ghosts and shit.
Ends in the
All right,
boat.
I'm being swayed.
Screw Krezk. We're going there for the weaklings to get their bullets.
Oh
and we're
my
gonna go,
god, we say that and it's just not. All right. I say we can vote. We talk about our
okay.
options and we can vote, and I will of course respect the vote. One thing though, Taylor was gonna ask the doctor. So do you know anything about the elves? I haven't actually met any since I was really young, so I don't know.
You don't know the history of your own people and what happened to them?
No, well, you know what happened to the females, but
Do you know why?
Strahd was mad, but now he's not mad.
Right, but well, much like the girl of Berez that led to the destruction of Berez, there was an elf who fell in love with Strahd. He enjoyed her company, but was not overly taken with her. But in time, she won his heart and affection, and he agreed to make her one of his brides. Much the same the first night, the second night, but then they killed her before he could return for that third bite. When he saw that they had taken her from him, he ordered Rahadin, a loyal servant of his family's line, to punish the Dusk Elves in a manner that they would never forget. Rahadin killed all of the women and all of the female children. At least he thought he did. To end his own species in an effort to please his Lord Strahd. The remains of that particular elf are entombed beneath Castle Ravenloft. And from what I understand, the girl's brother, the leader of the remaining Dusk Elves, seeks a way to bring her back. He is a broken thing who makes empty promises to any willing to escort him to the Amber Temple of all places, where he thinks he can find the magic necessary to revive her soul and body.
I see. I don't know how they would react to finding out about me. Or if they could help us.
Are there no more female elves left in Barovia at all? Besides you?
Not that I know of.
She is the only one I have encountered or heard of. Your
You-
existence, if it's known to Strahd, could be a liability.
He knows.
But does Rahadin know?
I don't know. I think Strahd would have had to tell him.
No, he's listening now.
Well, we're
No, you
inside.
guys are. I'm assuming you guys are still inside the tower.
Okay.
So
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
And probably talking through the door then.
he just like
Oh
crunched
my
over,
God.
like yeah. All right, we need one more vote. We got.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I mean, so we got 3 yeses, so I guess we are heading just for bullets. Just for bullets. Okay.
Wait, the vote's changed.
Oh
The
wait,
fuck?
someone has changed their vote to no. Okay, so not going for bullets. All right. Did you guys want the gold needle for
Yeah, yeah.
Eastmark?
yes.
Increase
You-
your allies by 1.
All right. So you guys, he shows you how to administer the needle. It's very similar to using an EpiPen. The needle shatters, and then the stone kind of turns to dust, and then Eastmark falls down like he's been freed from carbonite. He looks around with sightless eyes for Princess Leia. Gasping in air like a fish dying in the bottom of a boat. Irina runs to him, and he says, it was, is ever, is it still here? Is it ever, is it, Irina, where are we? I could hear, but not understand. I could see shapes and colors and light, but no details. Where are we? Where is everyone? And he kind of blinks his eyes blearily, and he says, why are there naked men made of mud? And what's going on? I assume you guys fill him in on what's going on.
Yep.
Okay. When he finds out that the needle was chosen for him and not for Jason, he looks ashamed. And he says, Jason, he's... No, I can't believe that he's too strong to... And he looks and he sees the barrel labeled Jason. And his face screws up like he's going to start crying. But a life of semi-toxic masculinity stops him. And he just puts it away in a box for later. He says, what can be done for Jason? Well, we are not going to Kresik anymore. We're going back to Velkai.
I think so.
I think we really need to go to Kresik because I only have so many bullets.
How many bullets, Wayne? Just be honest.
Alright, my guns are fully loaded and I have 22 extra. That's it.
Irene says,
That's it? 22 shots? You shoot that gun like 16 times a fight, Wayne.
I don't shoot it like 16 times.
Well,
a
if
fight.
I had known that, I would have changed my vote.
I mean, I voted to go to Kresik, but I would have tried to sneak in like another vote into the head. So,
You guys, he can't shoot. Like,
Wayne, cover your ears. Just cover your ears real quick.
guys, he doesn't do anything else except shoot gun. Like, what are we going to do when you run out of bullets?
I mean, Wayne talks a lot.
So, do they say things make a difference?
And other head says not as much as Leo.
Good point. And number 2, good point.
Also, what is Leo? Leo, cover your ears. What's Leo gonna do? He doesn't do anything with that gun.
He
tried
tells
to,
he
he
tells
tried
me
to
to hit
throw an
stuff, and I
axe
hit
that had
stuff.
a rope tied to it. Taylor, we were all there. He threw a fucking axe that had a rope tied to it. This is what we're dealing with now that Jason's gone. He threw a fucking axe that had a rope tied to it, and then we all had to watch him pull the fucking axe back. This is
We don't even have
now.
we don't even have money for bullets.
What the curse? What? No,
Do we have money for
anybody?
bullets?
We're broke.
How much is a bullet?
Well, silver. If it's silver bullets,
More than
Oh.
broke.
No,
So
I mean,
fucking broke.
but if we went there, they would be like, we have quests you could do. You know, we could give you bullets for doing quests.
We
It's
could
28,
also
28
get.
gold in purple staying.
We could
There,
also get magic stone
Where's
with the
magic?
power of the land.
And turn the stone into bullets.
Or we could get this knowledge.
if
Maybe
we go,
when we steal from Lady Walkner, we can also steal stuff to
Oh
sell.
yeah, we could steal all her money. So
And
we
if we-
go to Valakai, we rob Lady Wakna, we get the book and take all her treasure. Then we go to Krezik and we buy all the bullets in the whole town.
and if we also take the time to go help the kids with the hags.
Oh yeah,
perhaps-
those hags, they're selling cupcakes all the time. They probably have a bunch of money.
Well, hags like that sounds
Yeah,
like
they
they're gonna
ran a
have
bakery. They
stuff.
gotta
Yeah.
have money.
Yeah, bakery money's yeah.
And like, how tough is a hag really? You know? Anybody?
They can cast fireball.
Well, they I'm trying to think. They have like plants that are alive that attack you if you're hostile.
Oh, well, that's like your mom, right? Like, is your mom like, are all hags the same, or
I
like?
don't know. I never called her that.
Oh, it's
Um,
probably good. That's not a nice thing to call your mom.
Um,
Van Richten says, I haven't been able to discern the nature of hags that the women are, but based on their behavior, the fact that there's 3 of them, 2 of them daughters, 1 of them a mother, these are all things that point towards them being hags. I don't suppose you have any information you could give me about their patterns of behavior, their methods of attack. That might help me narrow down what sort of hag you might be dealing with.
they sell
I
baked
am, after
goods.
all, he pushes his glasses up, an expert monster hunter.
Yes, they sell baked goods.
Yes, okay. Well, that's a common practice of many hags. They also love to eat children. It's actually the only way that they can reproduce is by
They-
eating humanoid infants.
They killed my cousin
Okay.
through fear.
All right. In person with him or
Through a door.
through a door? What was your cousin doing at the time? Fighting them?
Sleeping.
Oh, whoa! Oh no! Oh, he looks flustered. He says, that's unfortunate. That means you're dealing with a night hag.
Okay, so we go after them during the day, or
Well, that would help. Hopefully the daughters aren't also night hags. That would be, well, that would be ridiculous.
It's
Wow.
expected.
on luck, they're
Expected.
probably all 3 hags. So why don't you
So what do
stop
they
being
do?
coy and tell us what the deal is?
So
I do-
OOC,
Wayne, he's trying to help us. Like,
Oh, completely OOC meta. In the Curse of Strahd GM community, the 3 fucking night hags
Called it.
are considered like the most broken design of all of 5e because you run into like the first one when you're like level 2 or whatever, right? And you're like, I hate that bitch. I'm gonna hunt her down. I'm gonna kill her. And they're like, cool. Well, here's her house. It's right on the way to the biggest town. And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna punch her in the cunt. And like you have no idea that there's 3 night hacks, and you're like level 2 or 3, and then that's the end of the campaign. Yeah. So, anyways, back
but
to
we
the
have
game.
suspicion to believe there's only 2 for reasons.
I would say that you guys are possessed of a healthy and well-earned confidence that you cannot explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're well traveled in this place now.
It's
Ada was the mother. Ada was the super night hag,
Yeah,
not the little night
You
hag.
feel 33% more confident about this encounter, but you don't know why.
All right, let's go do it then.
It feels like this black. Ever since this black dot showed up on Anne's forehead, she's been feeling a little bit better.
He explains to you that as long as they are a coven, as long as there are 3 of them, they will be possessed of incredible spellcasting ability. But if you can manage to kill even one of them, their power will greatly diminish. However, these beings have the ability to step in and out of reality and enter the dreams of others, wherein they give you nightmares and feed upon you. Sometimes those nightmares will scare people to death.
Okay, so don't fall asleep. If someone falls asleep, wake them up right away.
Yeah.
And
But if you can manage to kill at least one, you're in
I don't know if we
business.
can.
we think we already managed for some reason.
That's why he tells you that you gotta focus fire. You have to kill one right away, or they will just nuke you down with their spells. But if you break the coven, they will become much easier to face. However, if you kill one, but let the other 2 live or escape, they will come after you in your dreams. And eventually, you're just going to die because your stats are going to slowly be diminishing without you knowing it, because someone's probably tracking that sort of stuff every time you sleep.
Oh my
and then
god.
Eventually, you're going to fucking die. And he says, so make sure that you don't kill one until you're ready to deal with all of them.
We gotta go there. He just explained the black dot.
I told you that you had a feeling that this guy was going to be able to explain the whole fucking campaign to you. And what's wild is this tower was just sitting here this whole time.
Oh my god.
It was a dilapidated old tower.
In werewolf territory.
In
I
werewolf
know.
territory.
Yeah, I know. But I just love this like sandbox like setting, because it's just like, I mean, other than telling you probably shouldn't go to the Amber Temple, I have not tried to deter you from any course of action. But if you guys tried to go to the Amber Temple, I would have been like, do not go to the Amber. Like, don't fucking go there. That's where I was willing to kind of be like, no, you don't want to go there. Not yet.
I mean, I want to see the Curse of Strahd campaign when they find out about the Amber Temple. They're like, oh, we gotta go right now.
So when my friend ran this for us IRL before people started dying and everything fell apart, he was like, I'm gonna be completely hands off. You guys do whatever you want. So I'm like, fuck yeah. I'll go. We're just gonna chase down whatever leads we get, y'all. And like the fucking like second lead we got was like Baba Lasagna, and I'm like, we're level 3. Let's go see what this bitch is all about. I was like, oh, that was a mistake.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was, and he didn't put. At no point he's like, this is a very powerful hag, very powerful. No NPC in the world had the decency to tell us like, you guys are idiots. Like, what are you doing? Like, he's just like, I'm gonna be hands off. Just whatever you want to do. It's a sandbox. I was like, wow, that's cool. Anyways. Okay. So, what do you guys decide to do? What do you want to do?
The vote said no to Kresik, so.
All right.
Valakai?
So do we need a second vote?
If we go back to Valakai and
Valakai's on the way to
unless
the
we
hags
cut,
anyways.
Unless we cut across the forest, which
that's true.
I mean, we kind of need to run into a bear and a moose, so and we earn money by just taking our time and picking flowers. So,
well, taking your time might not be the best play, but
if we want to try and cousin the Watcher Woman, the Lady Walkner, we need to first go to Kresik to deliver the letter, because our leverage with her trusting us enough to just let us run around her estate is the means of fixing her daughter.
I got a plan.
Yeah,
for
we
that.
just tell her we dropped
My
it off.
plan
They didn't give us a
is
letter back.
we fucking lie to her. And while we're lying to her, Victor casts invisibility on me and I break into her goddamn house. That's my
All right.
plan.
So, Anne, now that this phenomenon has been pointed out to you, you realize that your max HP is down 22.
Okay.
And the terrible nightmares that you've been ignoring because you're so fucking tough and your mind is so focused, start to sort of, you start to have flashes of them kind of coming through, of the car accident, of Daniel, of finding Daniel, of Daniel also dying in the car wreck, of everyone dying in the car wreck, of you never being able to get out of the car wreck, of you eating your own leg to free yourself from the car wreck as your family begged you not to abandon them. Start to kind of flood. And little Anne looks at you with pity. And little Anne says in a very deep, rumbly voice like a mountain, "We have no time for fear, only strength." Which I guess is probably unsettling for everyone else there, but...
Like hide in killing hags.
All right. You guys gonna get some sleep and head out in the morning? Yeah?
Yeah, that seems right.
Okay. So let's see. Hours. We'll just do 10 hours. That'll bring you to... Oh, that's only 2 in the morning. Yikes. Okay. I don't know if you want to head out that early. I'll bring you like 5 a.m. All right. So you guys gain the benefits of a long rest because this is a sanctuary.
For now, ...
Yes, for now. ... Okay. So, Leo / Darby brings up a good point. You guys could just try to circumvent Valakai by crossing the river and then just going straight through the woods to the hags. So I'll throw one
Assuming
more
our map
goal.
is perfectly accurate, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. But I don't think our map is as accurate as this.
I mean, but we have been through this area. We have a little bit of a sense of some of this because we've
we've
literally
never-
been by those
we've never been
roads.
We've
No, we
never
haven't
been
been through
through the woods though. We always went around.
How
But, I mean, we did this
long do we
big
think it's going to take us to get to the windmill from where we are?
Guess that depends if we get lost.
Assuming we're able to strike a good path, are we going to be able to get there in like a day, 2 days?
I will check the real map. Hold on.
See, the thing is, I think assuming is a bad idea because we all kind of suck at survival.
We're now trained in survival.
Oh.
Oh. But do you suck?
+3.
Or,
That's it.
so I'm gonna go back to my previous statement.
Okay.
No offense,
Zelmar is trained in survival as well, and he can help.
So it's 19 miles by road to get to Valakai. 19 miles by road to get to Valakai. It is 16 miles by road to cross the river, and then if you tried your best to go around Valakai and straight to the windmill, it would be 15 more miles of woodland.
So like 3 days, best case scenario.
Let me see.
Was
So you're saying take the road until we cross the lake, and then from the lake cross through the woods.
Well, the river, yeah.
I mean, cross the river at the bridge, and then
yeah.
cross the woods.
Now keep in mind, it's 16 miles to cross the woods. If you stuck to the road, went through Valakai, and then back out the other side, and you took roads all the way. You guys remember from your carriage rides and travels, that's a windy ass fucking road.
Yeah.
You're looking at 28 miles of road.
If we go all the way around.
If you take the normal road.
If
Now
we
keep
go-
in mind, road only has random counters on the 18 or higher. Woods have it on a 15 or higher.
There's more random encounters going through the woods, right?
And in the woods, you travel half as fast. So 16 miles becomes 22 miles.
32 miles.
Oh, right, my bad. Yeah, 32 miles.
So you might as well take the road.
I mean, that's almost like why roads were invented and shit.
Yeah.
But your activities, would be known if you were going through town and on the road, more so than if you were sneaking through the woods. And then through the woods, it's going to be a different encounter table than the road. The road, generally, there's a better chance of running into civilized encounters.
Non-hostile.
Which is the woods is going to be a lot more rowdy.
We already spent all of our good wood encounter rolls and missing encounter in the woods rolls while we're looking for those werewolves.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I think Valakai and then Hags.
Okay, well,
Wow, I'm heavily outvoted.
Yeah, all right.
All
Hags
right,
via
we'll go
woods.
through
Okay.
woods.
Well, okay, so I voted before we had the full numbers.
Okay, you should be able to change your vote if you need to. All right.
So I just want to confirm. If going through we are going to take the roads up until we get to Valakai. Then instead of going through Valakai and taking the roads, we're just going to cut through the woods from there, and that'll be that'll be the 16 miles times 2.
Oh, I was assuming not even within sight of Valakai. As soon as you cross the river, you start cutting through the woods.
Okay, would that mean that we're cutting
Nobody
through
would
the
ever know.
Vistani Dust Elf camp?
It could take you through the Vistani camp if you wanted to, yeah. Or you could skirt it. Because that you are correct. That is south of Valakai, so you would be passing near it.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with my vote.
Okay.
But it still looks like it's going to be a majority on Hags via Woods. All right.
I'm fine with Hags too, because then we just go to Valakai after and heal up.
Right. So let's see what we got. All right. Also, any last questions for? There's no cell phones or anything. So any last questions for this dude before you head out?
I mean, he doesn't have like a stone of sending or something, does he? That we can.
Nah.
He works
alone.
alone. Why would he do
I
that?
will say, I think it's kind of cute that his whole thing is he has to work alone. But if you're Taroka reading, he can be your fated ally.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's like that's kind of yeah.
So I will say, since we're not going to Kresik, and we're about to go through the woods, and we don't have horses, do we want to leave the barrel of Jason in the tower?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
For safekeeping.
And also, now is probably the last chance to leave Minodora behind, if that's what Leo wants to do.
So you got 2 big choices, Leo.
We'll leave them both with the crazy man.
Okay. But doesn't Minodora have insider knowledge on the bone grinder?
She does. She's been inside she has been inside the building.
But that may not be
Do
worth
we really want
jeopardizing
to
her.
have her live that trauma? I mean, come on, guys.
That's true.
We can handle some little old hags.
All right. So it's going to be 4 hours on the road to cross the river. Plus, you are passing through Luna River Crossroads, which always triggers an extra encounter roll. So, hour 1, hour 2,
I thought it was only
Hour.
15 for me.
hour 3, hour 3 and change because of Crossroad, and hour 4, nothing. Remember, 18 or higher on the roads.
Yeah.
All right, so now you have crossed the river, and 4 hours and 20 minutes have gone by. All right, and you've done
Wayne's
4.
absolutely silent this entire trip.
There. All right. So now you're going to start traveling. Within an hour or so, you will have the option to go to the Vistani camp because you will be passing by it. Do you want to ignore it, avoid notice, or swing by? I guess I'll choose your own adventure.
I will point out, Taylor at this time doesn't have any interest in communicating with the Dusk Elves, so.
Then we may as well avoid it.
Yeah, Rudolph said he'd stay away from that people.
Rudolph.
He's a
He sure
racist
did.
prick.
He
Okay, we could
sure
go in
did.
there and kill everyone, and Rudolph, we go back to the old tower, Rudolph would be like, you guys have made progress. Like,
Took out one of your
No.
enemies.
He's like one of those guys that would be like, he would like be really happy you did it, but he'd also be like, I can't believe you let darkness take over your heart. But he'd turn away from you and he'd have like a big smile on his face. And then he'd like impose himself and be like, I thought you were better than that. Anyways, I have this treasure I didn't need. You can have it for no reason.
ignore it is the same as go around it, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
avoid notice is like, like you don't want to be spotted by them at all. You just want to.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't wanna.
All right. So that's going to be 16 miles of woods. I will need a survival check from someone. They will have advantage because they are being aided by the greatest hunter and tracker in the party, Dunbar.
Is anybody else trained other than me?
Sadly, Dunbar's inability to vocalize the common tongue makes it so that he cannot be the primary roller for survival.
Leo's got a 2.
But what if we have thought, communicate what Dunbar is saying?
Yeah. That's a lot of work that Thought doesn't want to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask him that.
Dogs are not super bright, so there's like that too, where he'd have to be like kind of elevating it and be like,
No,
yeah.
dog. I said, which way to the hags?
I think Dunbar has above average.
Yeah. No, he has
intelligence.
very good intelligence, but I mean,
I tell everybody about how smart my dog is, but she also tries to eat poop. So.
The struggle is real.
So, 16 difficult miles of woodlands would result in 10 hours of travel. Now, we all know that Leo can make you guys travel 1 extra hour a day with his positive mental attitude. So, that means you can do 5 more hours today before you would start force marching yourselves. So, we'll just do that.
I mean,
and then...
that works because we also want to be there
What?
during the day too, right?
Yeah, we want to be there during the day.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta do the 5 hours and then call it, and then wake up early and try to hit him during the day.
No.
Should we try and camp? Should we camp in the woods or try and camp at this Stony camp?
Well, if we try to camp now, or
if you stop at the Vistani camp, you'll have 9 hours that you have to go tomorrow.
Okay, never mind then. I mean, that's exactly how many hours we can move, and we will be able to do movement after that. So we'll go past it.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we'll do 5 checks. Here we go. Hour 1, looking for 15s and higher, or trying not to get 15s or higher. I don't know how you guys. Oh,
Man,
look at that!
that was
All
a
right.
close one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Whew. All right,
Hey.
more.
Huzzah! All right. So tomorrow you will only have 5 more hours to go, but we do have to do some camping real quick. So, who is going to be on watch?
I could be on watch.
All right, Taylor's on watch.
Taylor's our biggest brain.
The 5 of you need to give me survival checks with either intelligence, wisdom, or strength. This will determine the quality of the campsite. The DC is only a 10 to set up this campsite because you guys
Survival,
are
you said?
starting to get pretty good at this. Yep, it's going to be survival with intelligence, wisdom, or strength.
Yeah, we had that long rest before.
Okay. Unfortunately, there were 2 fails, so that is going to make for a shoddy campsite, which will result in a DC 15 for all camping activities, including sleeping checks to see if you recover additional hit dice. But you guys didn't lose any hit dice today, so hopefully you're doing pretty good on resources. Taylor, now that we know the DC, go ahead and give me a intelligence survival to set up your perimeter, and then a wisdom perception, which will be influenced by your perimeter quality, to see if you get surprised during the night. All of that, of course, hinging on there even being encounters. All right. Now, because nighttime encounters are spookier and you can't know if they happened or not, I will have to roll those privately. Before I do, you guys would gain the benefits of a short rest while setting up the camp. And then you can do your camping activities. So everyone except Taylor, you can rattle off your camp activity. So Leo, what is your camp activity?
Leo's probably just gonna take some time to himself, relax, and by himself.
Relax in solitude. Okay, great. So we did take a long rest at the tower, so everybody's inspo would be zeroed out.
I just did mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So getting back inspiration via camp activity would be a huge play since you're going into a big ass fight, potentially. So all right, that's going to be a wisdom check, not a save, a wisdom check, DC 15. Oh damn! Okay, I'll take your inspiration. Well done. Okay. So, Anne, what is your camp activity?
I'm gonna continue silvering these weapons.
Okay, fair enough. Do some crafting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Robin, what is your camp activity?
She's gonna play a game. She'll get out her tarot cards and mess around with us. If anybody wants to join in, we do a roll
Wayne,
off.
you wanna do a roll off? Guaranteed inspiration for one of you.
Wayne is not in the headspace for games.
Okay. Irene will play game with you, Robin.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Intelligence game check.
Yeah. I mean, you're making up this game, so if you want to be intelligence based, it will be intelligence based.
Yeah, why you gotta pick on Irene like that?
She's got a pretty good intelligence. It's like for 5th edition, 11 is very high.
5 higher than mine.
I mean, it's not great for. I mean, I have no modifier to it. So
Okay. So this is fair play, just fair play. Okay. She spends the whole time asking you if seducing Strahd for the benefit of the party would make her a loose woman.
And do you think that she would get a bad reputation? If Jason was still alive, would he be jealous? And all sorts of very awkward questions. She really just wanted someone to hang out with and had no intention of winning. So when you win, she's very happy for you, and you get inspiration.
That's fine because it was just more to
Yeah.
But what was
Is
the
she, like,
answer?
having,
Yeah, but
like,
what was
Yeah,
your
what was your
yeah,
answer?
what was your answer?
advice?
I mean, what I think Robin would be saying would be, I mean, because that's a lot of questions.
She seems kind of empowered. Like, she seems to have left Van Richtenstower feeling
Mhm.
like she is like Strahd's weakness.
Mhm.
Incarnate.
Yeah, I think Robin would say something like, whatever happens, it needs to be your choice.
Mhm.
And like it's it is very empowering to know that he has a weakness for you, but that also puts you in danger. Remember, because the previous times this has happened, those people have died. They were either going to get turned into a vampire, or they got burned. So just be careful, is what I'm saying right now. Like, don't jump the gun on this stuff.
What if we were fighting him, and then
Mhm.
like I just ripped my shirt open and showed him my boobs? Do you think like he would, like, would we just defeat him? Like, would he just be like, "Oh, I give up"? Oh,
Is this
Arinia.
conversation just being had out in the open at camp?
I
or
mean,
like, is
it's
it like
like-
private girl talk?
Well, listen, I don't think Irenia has a volume knob, so she thinks she's
Well,
being very
I don't want to
discreet.
like intrude if it's supposed to be a private conversation, but if she's just like
Things
if I have
said by
flashback
Wayne
titties,
Larson
Loki,
that caused me to
potentially-
doubt. Things said by Wayne Larson that caused me to doubt. Wade, I'm gonna be honest. You would definitely hear this conversation. She is incapable of lowering the volume on herself. Yeah.
Irenia, I don't think you should.
Oh, Wayne, what are you doing? I thought you were like not in the mood for games.
I'm not in the mood for games, but what you're doing is you're poking the bear.
What do you
You're-
mean?
I applaud you on your zest for trying to find a weakness for Strahd, but I don't think
Wait, were
you're
you
throwing yourself
dropping on our
at him.
girl talk? We were over
Mhm.
here discreetly having a conversation, Wayne.
It's
Just
you're
the
still
two of
discreet
us.
about your conversation.
What is that
The
supposed to
entire
mean?
camp can hear you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And
Yes.
did you hear my conversation about my boobs?
Yes, and with you saying that name, I'm pretty sure he can hear it too.
Oh shit.
And with that said,
Okay.
like, yeah. Also, I think Strahd. I mean, the Dark Lord
Yeah.
is.
We're really gonna be. This is gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Just call
I
him
think-
Voldemort.
Yeah. Voldemort is.
That makes me think about Chris, though.
Filbert is
Filbert.
very. He's much more subtle.
I'm sorry. Is that a real name?
I mean,
Filbert?
Oh, yeah, and yells from across. Yells from across the camp. Yes, it is.
There's people in the Earth named Filbert?
I mean, like
We
100
have an
years ago,
uncle.
not many now.
We had an uncle named.
You had an
Filbert.
Uncle Filbert? Like, pick a
Oh,
name, buddy. Are you Phil or are you Bert? Like, Filbert just sounds terrible.
We did call him Uncle Phil.
Okay, see?
Mhm.
That...
Mhm.
Ugh. I'm sorry. Keep going. So Filbert.
I think just flashing him in the middle of battle is not going to. It may distract him for a moment. It's not going to end the
So,
battle
like,
or whatever.
Opportune moment. Got it. Okay.
And remember, he can.
I'm going to use my sewing kit then to make my shirt rip open real fast.
Yeah, I mean, use it again. Distraction, last resort kind of thing. Don't count on it for anything beyond that.
Nice. Why, and these will be like my silver bullets, she says, cupping her boobas.
I mean, we could get you like some silver castles or something.
What is tassel?
Robin
enough.
instantly regrets saying it.
I have my smithing kits here if we need it.
God.
Wayne's gonna start playing some melancholy songs.
All right, so Wayne, what is your camp activity?
He is going to play the lute.
Okay,
He's
who
gonna
are
play
you?
some-
Who are you going to inspire?
I'm going to inspire Taylor.
Okay, all right.
Ooh, do
Roll
you play
that
one of the songs I taught
performance.
you?
Huh?
Do you play one of the songs I taught you since you go for
It's in the
somber?
mix.
Which one do you want? Is it wait. She wore a blue ribbon. That one's really sad.
And then I guess he plays that one for Taylor.
Okay.
Since we are
Dang,
getting this,
he's so good. He's so good at playing music. Oh my god. All right.
since we're getting all this inspiration and stuff at the end of the session, is it going to carry through till next time?
Yeah. It only
It's-
resets on a long rest,
And
which
we've
you
not had
guys
a-
don't really get too often because you need a sanctuary for it. So yeah.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
this will carry over, and then doing the recap. Next session we'll get you another one. So yeah, you should be good. It's actually really good that you had to camp before getting to the windmill, because this gives you that opportunity to build your inspiration back up. All right. On that note, everybody settles in to go to sleep. So let me see if anything interesting happens that night. Okay. Okay. All right, let me check something real quick. Oh, it does start to rain. You had a whole
Oh.
day with no rain, but it does start to rain in the night.
Nothing like camping in the rain.
In a shitty camp.
Also, remember our tent skull got destroyed from the bats.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Why did her tents get destroyed? Because of the bats,
Bats.
he said?
Yeah, the
The
bats.
bats.
Yeah.
He fired it right at the camp.
Okay. Nothing happens all night.
That we know of.
That sounded definite.
Okay. Taylor has nothing to report in the morning.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize how bad I was at intelligence survivals.
Okay.
If it was wisdom, it would have been okay.
Let me see.
Am I still at -22?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
Well,
been
no,
getting worse.
That's what I'm saying. Did it get worse?
This doesn't even recover on a long rest.
I know.
Like-
What I'm asking is it still only?
Oh,
22?
no, that's what I'm checking.
Okay.
We all wake up in the morning, all of our underwear's gone.
Hold on. Yes, the pantsu hag. They only steal underwear. That's the whole thing. You're
Movement.
actually your max HP goes down by an additional 10.
Okay. So 32.
And your night is just full of horrors. What was interesting is that the night you spent in the tower, did you sleep in the tower or did you sleep outside the tower?
There's no way Anne would have slept inside that tower.
Yeah. Okay. The night at the tower, even with you just sleeping near the tower, you did not have the bad dreams, but you definitely had them last night.
Okay.
We gotta get there.
Okay. So you rise the next morning, and you have 5 hours of travel before you reach the thing. So we'll go ahead and roll those out in the open. Let's see. Oh, I've got to actually advance you to the next day. Okay, hold on. All right, so we assume you wake up pretty early because you wanted to catch them during the day. All right, so here we go. Hour 1. Ooh, okay. So, that's fortuitous. Okay. Wow. All right. You guys haven't encountered Witch Hunter 7 yet, have you?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Well,
we have.
didn't yeah, we have. They were the ones.
Oh
We
yeah,
encountered
they're the
them
ones we
after
sent.
the,
Yeah, they're
uh,
the ones we sent to the bone grinder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Gotcha.
god, did we find them in the?
Yes.
I get lost. Oh, these horrible hunters.
So,
The dice.
you rediscover Witch Hunter 7. And they are sort of wandering aimlessly in the woods. They see you guys from a distance, and one of them says, I recognize that big lady with the 2 heads. There can't be more than one of those in all of Barovia. Hey, over here! And they call you over.
We go over.
Okay. They
What-
say, it is us, Witch Hunter 7. We came seeking the hags, but we have been unable to find them. We've been wandering the woods for days, for weeks.
We're going there now. You could just come with us.
Would that be all right?
Yeah, just make sure you focus
Yeah.
fire.
Okay.
And don't fall asleep.
Okay. Great.
Fortuitous indeed.
All right. So you guys continue traveling. Let's see.
Add these guys to the ally list.
Dice, man. The
What are
dice.
these 7? I can see them.
All right.
my
Hour
future
2.
torchbearer.
Hour 3. Hour 4. Oh man, and hour 5. Exiting the woods and seeing it off in the distance. Wow, man!
Oh my god.
What a lot, man! Holy shit. Okay.
It's okay. We're gonna get like nat 20 max damage, ground to the dirt.
It's-
Well,
it's that,
no,
33%
that's for
boost.
the Witch Hunter
So-
7 to take.
So like, I was thinking about RNGs this earlier today because with my injury, I can't use controller right now because only one thumb, and so I had to put my Cyberpunk playthrough on hold, and just can't play other games. So I dug out my Dirge playthrough, and I was like, guess I'll just sit here and feel sorry for myself, clicking my mouse, playing some Baldur's Gate, and so I had a fight where me and the bad guys could not stop critically missing each other. It just went on forever. It was like a boss fight too. And like, I'm talking like 3 attacks in a row from the boss, critical miss. Everyone on my team, critical miss. Like, it was just insane. It was absolutely insane. I think in the 150 hours that we've played the 4-player co-op, I had never seen that many critical misses ever. And it was just one fight, and it was just not. I thought the game was broken. Like, it was that many.
For some reason, Cyberpunk this week, there was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like maybe like 4 10s back to back, and then like in the critical hits in Cyberpunk, you have to roll, when you roll damage, you have to get 2 6s out of your damage dice. And there was like 2 crits that were 2, and then 1 that was 3 6s at the same time. In like the span of like two rounds.
I have played too much tabletop to not believe in luck. I mean, I know that there's math nerds out there, and they're just like, it's all statistics, baby. I don't know if that's true. Like, if you've played with White Nathan or like Stone, like, you know that there's people that have bad dice. You know what I'm saying? And like, Yeah, like you know that like luck is a real thing. Like if you've played it, and I was just saying they were just in awe of how bad the rolls were on both sides. Yeah.
It's why I never get mad at the dice because they've been too good to me. They like.
But every once in a while, and the other thing that I tell people is sometimes a person has the luck, and sometimes a character has the luck. Like we got a new character in Daybreak. This guy just rolls ones. It's just so sad. Just
Yeah.
rolls ones. It was just like the previous character that the player had was great, but this particular character just rolls so bad, and it's just like I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah, that was
I
Esmeralda.
believe in the dice.
oh
telling
yeah,
the
that was
good
just
story.
Esmeralda. I was like, this is your beloved NPC from the history of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, this would be like Dritz Duerden showing up and falling off a cliff. Like, what the fuck?
I've never rolled so many ones in my life.
Yeah, it was
When
incredible.
playing that character.
Yeah, but then we got Taylor the Swift afterwards.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm digging what Taylor the Swift is putting down.
Taylor's
And-
definitely got a good tie to the story and some very interesting stuff going on. So I'm enjoying it too. Yeah.
And I'll say this for RNGesus, I would not have developed a drug problem in Run of the Frost Maiden if it wasn't for rolling a critical failure on whether or not my character had seen an after school special about saying no to drugs.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god.
It
And
was
then-
awesome.
Also think about Wayne when he has disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
things are possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so we're actually at time. This is a good place to stop, right at the edge of the woods with the windmill looming in the distance.
Can we see the like the animation of the windmill?
Oh yeah.
If there is one.
If I
There
didn't,
probably is.
if I didn't box it, I might have boxed it to save.
Save
That'll be the
space.
opening cinematic of next session.
Let me see. I think I got it here. Here we go. I'll put it on the landing page. And then I think you guys hit a milestone. I have to double check though, which could be very fortuitous for you. I would allow you to retroactively level up, even though you need a sanctuary to do so, because you would have had a sanctuary when you got this milestone. But I have to confirm that it actually is a milestone. So I don't want you to get too excited yet.
I'm already excited. Like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah. Level 7 will be a feat for me. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, do I go to Thief Rogue or keep going Monk for evasion? It's so hard.
Let's see. Maybe. All right, there we go. So let's check my notes. And
Oh yes, I get evasion at level 7.
evasion's very nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Milestone guide. Max level 13. Okay. Nightfall. Didn't do that. Haven't done that. Didn't do that. Didn't aid their destined ally in their personal quest yet. Okay.
His personal quest is like endgame.
Didn't do that. Didn't do that. Didn't do that. Okay, so you didn't hit a major. So let me check the minors, because I could have sworn that you guys hit a minor. Let me see.
I think we have. I think, if I remember correctly, you said we had one minor in the bank right now.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Let's see.
Does helping Minodora count as like a milestone?
No. She was literally a random encounter.
Oh, he's got 6 feet on.
Let's see. Well, you know, you attach, yeah,
if it, like,
you attach
morphed into
value.
something.
Oh, I mean, it could have, like, but you
That's
know,
fine. I was just asking a question. That's all.
Well, she told you what she wanted. Let's see. Can't do that anymore.
It's leading to this fight now.
All right, so actually, that one's shut out. Here we go. That's what it was. Discover Van Richten was a minor milestone. And then explore the interior of the tower. That was a minor milestone.
Oh.
Okay.
So we got-
You got 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4.
What was our one in the bank then?
5, 6. There you go. The one in the bank. What was it? I don't know.
Maybe I'm misreading. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Yeah.
All.
Your minor ones are that you've done so far. You have explored the interior of the old tower. You saved Davy and Mardukov. You recruited your fated ally. You discovered Van Richten. You killed Morgantha. And you recovered the Winestone of Water.
So that's 6. So that's
Morgantha.
increments of
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
So yeah, we
Yep.
would
So
level up.
So you
that
did.
was the
Yep.
banked one.
Yep. So that was the banked one. Dom was Morgantha.
Was Morgantha. Okay.
Yep. So you guys are leveling up. So level up for next time.
Wait, so where it said max 13 when you said that in the beginning, does that include the level 0 or
No.
not?
That doesn't include level 0.
Oh, that changes things. Oh. Okay.
Yep. Once you get to 13, like hitting milestones could grant like boons, but it can't grant any more levels. So
Gotcha.
plus
Okay.
at that point people will be gunning for you, so I don't really know if you're gonna have time to to do anything at that point. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of players in the game that have not been introduced yet. So
Oh boy.
yeah. But
Okay.
some of them were mentioned. Some of them mentions. I feel like you guys should have a better sense now after talking to Van Richten of what is possible and what could be done. You know what I mean?
love our murder board.
Yeah. So hopefully this will kind of solidify things a bit more. I really do feel like this is just past the midpoint of the campaign where you've gotten all of the low level grind out of the way, and now you are kind of moving into what do you, like
Getting
he
shit
asked
done.
like he asked you, like, what do you really want, right? Like your first answer was to leave, but you don't really want to leave. Do you know what I'm saying? Like not yet. You know
Well,
what I mean?
if he said Taylor could have left, I'm out. Like, let's fucking
I
get
would've
out
left
of
you
here.
guys.
Let's fucking get out of here. Like,
Would you have left everyone like and just gone?
Taylor? Oh
Yeah.
man.
I think you would.
Really? He's at a point where
yeah.
he would just be like, "Sorry, buddy, I'm out. Like I
His
gotta."
best friends in 14 pieces.
Yeah.
Isn't coming back, really? I mean, come on.
Like if Lee
Ooh,
was up there and he
I-
heard that Jason can't come back because he's in pieces, and that he could just leave, I feel like Leo probably would have. I would not
Yeah.
be.
Yeah,
I
he
wouldn't be too
doesn't got any
surprised.
connection with these other.
Like cut your
that's-
losses. Yeah, cut your losses. Pour out a drink for him, and try to move on with your life, I guess. But
honestly, I think I would have rolled the dice, to be honest, and just odds are even did. Because like at one side is like Taylor just wants to go somewhere where she can like actually have a life. But on the other side, these are the only friends she's ever made. So it's really kinda who knows.
yeah. So it's very important that you guys kind of have a sense of what do you want, like moving forward, and knowing that there are different paths. Like Van Richten telling you the straight facts. Like you could get out of here just by joining Team Strahd. Like this is a dude who's decided to spend the rest of his life, such as it is, trying to kill this guy, and he honestly told you could just go to Strahd and ask him to help you. So like I feel like that's a pretty honest and transparent sort of like, yeah, like there is a quote unquote bad guy path to success in this campaign. So like it is full sandbox, however you guys decide to proceed.
Now if
Alright.
Chris was alive, might be taking some votes.
Well, I mean, souls don't leave Barovia, so I mean, dot 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 dot.
So
Those
what
are
you're
surprise.
saying is we're gonna go up against Strahd, and then out of nowhere, crack, boom! I get dropped by a sniper shot a mile away.
Look,
Damn,
look.
I
One
mean,
time I had to
just-
fight my character that gave his life to Zugdaboy. I'm just saying, this shit happens.
Yeah, and it's not like people left with Esmeralda's remains, right? So you don't have to worry about that coming back to haunt you.
Oh, I think about every session.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
Oh
gonna
no,
get.
it's only gonna come back and be relevant
Yeah.
at the worst possible moment.
Yeah, this campaign is gonna get very spicy moving forward. We're at the real, like, this is where we're getting into the real good shit. We're getting into the real good shit now. So, all right. Well, you and Witch Hunter 7 and
Our level 7.
and our level 7, and you got Eastmark back, and I mean, there you go. You guys are gonna roll. You're gonna roll these ladies. Just gonna roll them up and smoke them. They're done. So that's what we'll do next session. So quick announcements. Tomorrow night, Dom and I are going to talk about Pathfinder for a little bit, and then Saturday morning, Outlaws High Noon resumes, and then Saturday night I got Classic Strahd. They're on the Krezk plotline, doing Krezk stuff, and then we got Sunday morning Curse of Strahd Daybreak. I can't tell you what they're doing, and then Sunday night, Mythic Odyssey. They're working towards some stuff. They just got done in Typhon. Now they're working on something new. And then Monday night we got Outlaws Sunset. Tuesday Abomination Vault and Cyberpunk. Wednesday, ideally, we continue playing Curse of Strahd. Or no, we continue playing Baldur's Gate 3 4-player co-op. We didn't get to play last night because emergency room. But then Thursday we'll be back here and kicking Hag's buttholes in. So, does anybody have any announcements before we adjourn?
Yep. Tomorrow I'm gonna be posting up an games listing for Call of Cthulhu, Paper Chase, the second adventure in the beginner box. If anyone's interested in learning that game. It's only one session, 2 to 4 hours, 2 people, so scheduling is very flexible. If you have someone in mind that you know is interested that you'd like to play with and do an investigation with, please hit me up. I'm try to run it like 4 or 5 times.
Nice. Okay. Oh, Extra Life announcements. Red is running an Extra Life 1-shot or 2-shot. He has 1 spot left.
Yeah, I think he's doing every week in October.
Yeah. So if you've never played in a Red Kobold game and you appreciate DMs who put in the extra effort and they do some real good fucking VTT work, this guy, he's the top. He's the top of his game. Like he preps
he puts
so
his
hard
heart into every game.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely consider trying out one of those, and all the dues and everything go towards Extra Life charity, which is a super important charity for me personally. And then we do have Extra Life coming up in like a little less than a month, November 4th. It's gonna be a 25-hour marathon. We have 1 spot left for the 25-hour marathon, and we have unlimited opportunities to be on the backup, the B team, as it were, because 25 hours straight is a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and we have people fall asleep at their computers, and we have people that make themselves sick from drinking so much C4 that they think ants are in their skin, and they rip their skin off and have to go to the ER. So there's like a lot of things that could go wrong when you're playing D&D for 25 hours. So we want people to pull off the bench to fill those spots when that happens. So if you want to participate, but you know in your heart 25 hours is too much, let me know, and we'll put you on the reserves list so that
This
we
is
can
why
kind
it's
of
important to hydrate in addition to consuming energy.
Look,
Mhm.
I'm off the C4 train.
Okay.
I was on
good.
it. I
That's
jumped
good.
off.
All right, good. And then let's see. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a prize pack for minimum donations. We're gonna try to have a lot of chat involvement this year, and then there's gonna be like sort of like PvP of the two different groups running the same dungeon, but like occasionally having to face off against each other in weird challenges. So I'm very excited to return to that 25-hour format and try to raise some money and awareness for Extra Life this year. So if you're interested in any way at all of helping or contributing or being a part of that, hit me up on Discord.
Oh, Crash, quick question.
Mhm.
Does Dunbar, is he still at the level we put him at, or has he improved at all since?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go through and I'll level all of the companions and the NPCs up to be CR7 to match you guys being level 7.
Cool.
Yeah. But not Witch Hunter 7. They're just a bunch of scouts. So
Wait, they're not CR7?
No, there's 7 of them. They're definitely not level 7.
Okay, so we just need
fact-
to formally recruit. We
Yeah.
just need to formally recruit them.
Yeah. So what they've been doing is, even though they all have survival, it's not so much that they got lost, but they keep encountering really hard stuff that they can barely handle, running away and then having to rest up and then try again.
Hey, good for them that there's still 7.
Yeah, yeah.
All I've seen
I mean,
there is a new.
that's 14 attacks per
Look,
round.
look.
That's
They
14
took
attacks per
like
round.
they took like all of our random encounters for us. So,
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, that's why there were no random encounters, because
they killed the whole forest.
And so when we end up killing these guys by putting them in the front line, the Hags just nuke them.
They all
Then
have
we're gonna
bows
go back
on
to
front
see
line.
all kinds of random encounters.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep one of them.
He's gonna be
future
Leo's
torchbearer.
Yeah, that's what I said. These are guys. These are just future torchbearers.
He's gonna be Witch Hunter 1.
Torchbearer 1. Torchbearer 1.
Torchbearer 1.
This is formerly of Witch Hunter 7.
Yes, we went from 0 to 1.
Formerly of Witch Hunter 7.
All right. I hope everybody has a good Friday, a good weekend, and we will continue this next week. All right. Night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.
Yeah,